And welcome everybody to Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. This is episode 120. And we're not retiring after this UFC fight. But as always, this is Steve and
Charles here.
And via satellite, BV. Bill, how you doing today?
I'm good. How's everybody there?
So
Apparently, BV's a little distracted.
that was very convincing.
yeah.
I'm good. I got to quit fucking talking to me.
Yes, I'm super glad to be here. Anyway, get away.
So we got some new things this week. We're going to look inside someone's ear. Because that's a thing.
And mine are clean.
Charles is clean. So he must invest. I'm going to invest in stock in Q-tips right now.
Dude,
Because Charles must do
I buy them boys in bulk
37
from
Q-tips.
Costco.
What's the number one thing the doctors always say? Don't shove Q-tips.
Okay, first of all, who doesn't shove a Q-tip in their ear? Who uses it for anything else other than random little touch-uppy things or something like that?
Yeah, like some
and
model
then
things.
jam it in their ear. That's it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm glad to be here, though, because I told you I went to war with my bathroom sink. And
Yeah, well, you got the Sasquatch daughter.
Oh, between Holly and Michelle and their shedding, I had to run a snake it went almost to the end of the snake. It was a 20-foot snake.
Jesus.
So
you shouldn't have had to go that far, did you?
I
really?
had to go there because I took all the pipes out from underneath the sink. And there was nothing in any of them. It was in the wall down is where I had to go.
Lou.
Yeah, and it came out as black. It looked like tar, like
It
liquid
always is.
tar.
I don't know what goes on in like your pipes.
Yeah, it's
that
like
we
really-
call it the black oatmeal. And the worst part is when you get it on something, it just smears. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
clean up. It's
Yeah.
like, what is this
I'm
shit
like
made out of?
Windexing
Like a
everything I
death?
can find.
What is this?
Yeah, so gross. But I got it working. So then I went and got a Shark Tank item. So what it is, you do the plunger
The
for your
shroom thing. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
and it catches. Well, Leslie's gonna catch hair, so once a week I can pull it out, pull the hair out of it,
Yep.
and put it back in.
Yeah.
It's like $9 at Home
I've
Depot.
got a couple of those.
Yeah, well, yeah, Habby's got a lot of thick head hair too.
Yeah,
so
she
just
got like mane.
yeah, she's
sure.
like Holly, so I imagine your pipes are wreaked havoc as well as mine.
BB's wreaking havoc on pipes.
No, Abby's wreaking
I
havoc.
like get into a shower that won't drain right.
Oh, it drives me bananas. Since my daughter became of age,
Bathe in a puddle.
giant Chewbacca head of hers. And we found out she's going to kill me on a podcast, but she has very hairy ear holes on the inside as well. So she's got that going for her, among other things. All right, now let's talk about some new stuff this week. As you know, the voting is coming up, right? Everyone's aware of this.
Yeah, the second debate or whatever took place on Thursday.
Yeah.
They did a better job of controlling the who's talking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But we won't cover that. Anyone who's voting for anyone saw it already. So, but,
Anyone who's voting for anyone.
yeah, I don't know if it convinced anybody or anything else like that. But the one thing that came up from it that I thought was kind of funny, not from the debate, but this week, is Michigan has banned guns at the polling place officially this week. And then I started thinking, why is anyone taking a gun to a polling place?
Yeah,
begin
that had to
with?
just come up as a thing.
Yeah.
But then again, they stormed the Capitol. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
They're playing fast
why-
and loose with those
Why
rules.
was that
lately.
ever legal? I gotta go vote. Give me my AK. I gotta go.
I don't know, man.
I mean, why was that even allowed to begin with? Is what mesmer. If you're not a police officer, why are you walking to a voting place with a gun on
Well,
you?
then a cop in Colorado or something got in trouble because he wore a Trump mask to the polling place and stuff, which is a big no-no because you can't have it within a certain feet of the poll and everything like that.
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to wear political stuff. Yeah.
Crazy.
So now, also this weekend, a big weekend for college football because the Big Ten is back.
It's a big weekend, but it's a lame weekend for games.
Now, Bill, I don't know. Did you catch the final score of the Penn State Indiana game? Penn State was losing most of that game by 10 to Indiana.
Well, so Tebow, when I was reading the articles at work, Tebow has like called for like Indiana to put it on the Big Ten and be a big surprise of the Big Ten this year.
Well, if you
they're
got the
claiming
backing of Tim
they're gonna
Tebow.
beat. He's gonna when you got Jesus on your side,
Penn State is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Penn State is up 28-20 with about a minute and a half to go, and looks like Indiana has the ball off their own 40.
Keep us updated on
keep
that
an eye
one.
on that one,
Yeah.
BB.
That's the big. All the rest of the games, with the exception of one, kind of went the way everyone thought. I mean, Nebraska was close for Ohio State for about 5 seconds, 14-14, and then Ohio State woke up and dropped 50 on them. Most of them went to Wisconsin beat up on I forget who it was yesterday. They played yesterday, so they won. But the big one everyone was talking about here in Michigan, anyways. Rutgers mollywops Michigan State,
crazy.
and it wasn't kind of that close. I mean, I think this final score ended up looking kind of close.
28-17 or something
Yeah,
like that.
but it was not a great debut for the new Michigan State head coach. Well, Rutgers' coach is brand new, too. It's got Greg Schiano guy is back, but interesting thing. Now, tonight is the big one.
Well, I guess... Why did Michigan State ever get rid of Antonio? I mean, the best coach they've had in eons, and it just seemed like it was the craziest weird pressure and just...
Well, he set a standard,
choice.
then he just couldn't meet the standard after that. That year they went to the Rose Bowl, and they had a bunch of 11 wins. And in the last 3 or 4 years...
He's a really good coach.
Well, he's also a certain age and had a heart attack after the one Notre Dame game. So
well,
maybe,
I mean, it didn't stop Herb and Meyer. What are we
that
doing?
is true.
You know what I
is
mean?
true.
These college coaches are dropping
Put a stint in there. Side note, though, your boy Arnold Schwarzenegger had a big heart.
He had a new valve or something like that.
He had some surgery this weekend.
So D'Antonio, I'm sorry, just real quick. So D'Antonio couldn't raise the standard beyond where he already took it. So let's just take the standard, throw it in the toilet, and start from the bottom again. Makes total sense.
It sounds about right. That's
They're
their
looking for
theory.
the toilet standard as to be these.
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well,
I mean,
this guy,
Michigan State was never going to be a national title contender on any kind of level.
Well, this guy that's coaching him now was at Colorado, and he had mild success there. So they're anticipating that he'll eventually.
Yeah, but to BV's point, the perennial powerhouse is the Buffs of Colorado. I don't know, man. I think D'Antonio is a really good coach. I'm just going to say it right now. He was very underrated. And like you said, he couldn't capture that magic that they had the 1 year, but like year in, year out, we're a quality program under him. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I felt like he got run a little bit, and it was kind of crazy. I'll just be honest with you. It's kind of like how Ty Willingham got ran out of Notre Dame. It's one of those things where I'm like, these are two good coaches that it's one of those things where like sometimes it's not best to just see what's out there. Like sometimes you got to realize what you got's not bad. You know?
Yeah. Well, they got annoyed with it and let him go. So,
and look what they got: a loss to Rutgers.
And he's more than old enough to retire, probably. But we'll see if he shows up somewhere else. The rumor during the Notre Dame pick game.
But to the point, though, they went completely outside of his system and everything. So, like, old boy from Pitt, Narduzzi or whatever, is from the MSU tree and all that kind of stuff. And
they mentioned during that game today that once the COVID subsides some, that D'Antonio might come down there and help Narduzzi as I don't know what you call it.
I'm not a Sparty fan, but I will sing the praises of that guy as a coach. I'm not a huge Sparty fan, but he was one of a really good coach. I'm just going to say it right now.
So most of the other games today, Alabama rolled Tennessee. Notre Dame was.
But who was the player that got the broken ankle?
Bill,
BB,
who was the
on the opening?
Waddle.
Yeah, their star receiver has gone for the season according to ESPN.
Yeah.
So he's out, but no real close game. The only one allegedly is this Penn State. God, why am I going blank today? Penn State Indiana game because no one ever talks about Indiana.
Update: Indiana, 56 seconds to go. First and goal on Penn State's 6-yard line.
Oh man, drama.
Yeah, that's
Good
probably
stuff,
the game
man.
of the day.
Yeah,
there,
it sounds like it.
Now the big one tonight here in Michigan, anyway, is row the boat. PJ Flex, Minnesota Fighting PJ Flex against the fighting Jim Harbaugh's and the Khakis. Everyone's excited for this game. Now I put this on the show notes. Interesting earlier in the week that U of M, the actual university, is on lockdown because they've gotten a lot of COVID cases.
The whole state has. I mean, let's be honest.
But apparently that's not affecting the football team. They got away and they're good to go and they're good to play.
Is this game in Minnesota?
Yeah, I believe it is.
It's probably really cold there. Like, anyone know the temp and stuff like that? It's probably going to be like a wintry type game because isn't there?
Maybe in 30s or 40s probably.
They
play outside, right?
Cold, yeah.
I think they play outside. That should be a good game.
It might be below freezing out there.
So who you guys like in that game, I guess?
30 degrees right now in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's cool. Just a touch below freezing.
Nibbly.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't no joke, man.
So, Bill, who you like in that game?
You know what? I guess since it doesn't count as a lock pick. I think that, and this is for Scott, who's made a couple comments in here. First game of the year, Minnesota's supposed to be also a ranked team, I believe. So
21 or something like that.
Getting some credit. This looks like one of those early season trap games where they come out maybe on the road, come out a little flat. I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota in the upset.
And I would say BV's not in the minority on this one. Again, Jesus picked PJ Fleck in the in Minnesota tonight, so I there's no way Harbaugh drops this. I think PJ Fleck has been an incredible underachiever in that Minnesota product, in my opinion.
I mean, they went to a bowl game last year. They were pretty good.
So
it is Minnesota. At the end of the day.
I'm not gonna get. I'm with BV on this one. I'm like, I just think that PJ Fleck is a. So if we're talking about coaches, he's an underachiever in my opinion.
Bill went with Minnesota.
No, but I'm talking about we were talking about D'Antonio and being a national title and all that kind of stuff.
So who do you like today?
I like U of M.
All right, thank you, Trump.
Unfortunately,
Fucking beating around the bush.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a huge game.
Huge. It's gonna be the best games you've ever seen.
I brought the Big Ten back.
Yeah, the Big Ten. Hey, brought it back.
I think Michigan, the Fighting Khakis, are going to win this in a close one. It's going to be low scoring and grimy.
You think it's going to be grimy, huh?
Oh yeah, I think Michigan's go back to their roots. They're going to pound the shit out of the Rock because they don't fully trust the new quarterback. So 17-14 kind of game. It's not going to be exciting. It's going to be cold.
It's a tough watch.
So, that being said, it'll be 31-28 or something.
Why are you tuning into us to listen to this shit anyway?
Unfortunately, I think Michigan's going to win that one.
Wow.
But that's just me.
I love how it's only on this podcast would that be unfortunate.
Everyone else's Michigan podcast be like,
dude, we're in Michigan going, unfortunately.
So there we go, that one. So now let's go over to the NFL. And there's an interesting note that came up earlier in the week that the Cowboys, as you know, Dak Prescott shattered his ankle in 5,000 pieces. And his foot was dangling.
We'll see in 6 weeks or some shit. It's really crazy. They're claiming, like, with his recovery on that, they're like, 6 months. I'm pretty sure his leg was pointed the other direction.
Yeah, I don't know.
6 months is a little steep.
It's like he took an action figure, just turned his ankle the
I don't think
wrong
it's
way.
supposed to do that.
But they were looking for a backup for Andy Dalton. And of all the teams, they came to the Lions looking at David Blau. If you remember, he started a couple games for the Lions last year.
And did decent.
I mean, he is what he is.
True backup, yeah.
But they were after him, but the Lions countered the offer to keep David Blau.
Oh, man, they sweetened the pot.
Yeah, they did.
They
offered him 12 beers.
Because I want to say David Blau's from like a weird university.
Purdue, I believe,
yeah,
isn't
somewhere
it?
random.
Yeah, I think it's in the Big Ten. I think it's Purdue, but Bill can confirm that for us. But yeah, David Blau, the hot item this past week.
He's in play, man. You gotta come with the Bucks for David Blau. You don't get that too cheap.
So now all the other news down in South is Fitztragic has been benched.
Yeah,
we knew this was going to happen. Tua Tagovailoa.
At this point, you're never gonna get.
I'm never gonna get that name right.
That's fuck BB.
Tungavailoa is the.
Do you guys think? And this is the question to the digital room here. It seemed a little harsh and a little drastic to me. I don't know.
Well, no. This is the 5th game. You only get 5 games out of Fitzpatrick.
They're forecasting
you know
his
what
demise.
You're getting out of him. You're getting 5 games a season. Let's actually throw it to the expert on this one. This would be Bill. Bill, how do you think this guy's going to do as a starter in Miami?
Well, first off, to Charles' point, it's a little bit odd. I mean, Fitzpatrick is probably having close to his best year so far.
But Steve says he's got a shelf life. You got to respect the expiration.
They're in the. I mean, in the AFC East, they're in the playoff race. I mean, they're ahead of New England, so they're in second place in the division. He's throwing 300-400 yards a game. He's not really turning the ball over, and then suddenly, we're going to go ahead and make the move. It's why would Miami? Because it seems to me like this is Miami pulling the plug on the season and saying, all right, well, we don't have a realistic chance of winning now, so we're going to see what we have. I mean, I think Tua, if he can stay healthy, is going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL, but he's not ready for this right now, and he's going to take his lumps and do what rookies do, and they're probably going to be worse off with him playing quarterback right now than they would with Fitzpatrick.
I think this is an owner move. I think the owner wants to sell some of those jerseys with that kid's name on it. Yeah.
He's already got the #1 selling jersey in the league right now.
Oh, well.
In the whole league? Are you serious?
That's what I read earlier today, yeah.
That just seems crazy.
Over Jake from State Farm.
You got that discount. Thank you for the
Over
Steve
Mahomey?
discount.
Yeah, I'm looking at State Farm football.
Indiana
jersey.
just scored a touchdown, by the way. So 2-point conversion pending.
Ooh, 2-point pending. You have to let us know.
22 seconds to go. Oh, 2-point conversion is good. Tied at 28 with 22 seconds to go.
Indiana's
Wow.
playing up. Where's the game at, BB? Is it
It's
Happy
in
Valley?
Indiana.
Oh.
It's at IU, yeah.
Well, apparently we all need to listen to Tim Tebow.
Dude, Jesus knows college football.
he knows Indiana football. So there we go in Miami. Now, like I said, the Gremlins you can't feed after midnight. Fitzpatrick you can't play after 5 games.
Yeah, those are the rules.
They just know
5 simple Fitzpatrick rules.
Yeah, so next week if he played, he was going to throw 4 picks, and they know it, so they sat him. So in the notes, I put snooze fest for the Thursday night game, but it ended up being a good game, even though it was the same day as I think the debate and other things. So
It was for the NFC title.
yeah, NFC East title.
Yeah.
So the Giants lose to the Eagles 21-22. Ended up being a good game. I caught the last 5 minutes of the game because I watched most of the debate.
Wait, so what time were you up till on a Thursday night? I'm telling
It was
Randy.
11:30.
You up till midnight?
I was up till midnight.
Dude, you're an owner now. You can't be doing those kind of
Well, I'm
things.
up by 6. So that's 6 hours of sleep.
Man.
When I got that VR, I was up a lot later. I got to fucking fight Vader. I got time for this. I got time to sleep. But anyway, so the game ended up being a good game. This puts the Eagles in first place at like 2-3-1. That's how good the NFC East is. Bill, did you watch the game? Any thoughts on the game?
Well, yeah, I was flipping back and forth between this and the debate. So I actually probably watched more of the debate than the game. But the debate ended with, I don't know, it was probably about 10 minutes ago, 10, 11 minutes ago in the game. The Giants score a touchdown and go up by 11 with about 6.5 minutes to go, and then just completely self-destruct. They give up a quick touchdown. They miss. Eagles miss a 2-point conversion, and then one of these just you just can't. Those like bonehead kind of plays with a 3rd and short, and they decide to throw the ball and get it incomplete. Next thing you know, they're punting, and Eagles score. 20 some seconds to go, 20, 30 seconds to go, and they're up at a point. So, way to blow an 11-point lead in 6.5 minutes, which I guess would be typical of a team like the Giants.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was surprisingly entertaining because I saw who was playing. I was like, oh god, I guess I'll just watch the debate.
Yeah, ended up being a good game. So Charles, your Eagles pick for the Super
I
Bowl.
think I win the
It's
division.
still alive. It's still alive. You still got a chance.
Got that stellar record, taking that home. Hang the banner.
They just got to make
What's
it in.
Lincoln Financial. Gonna get that banner.
When they're 8-7-1, winning the NFC East.
Get ready for
So
it.
isn't the difference with first place that the Eagles are 2-3-1 and the Cowboys are 2-4?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tie.
Because of that tie.
That's gonna end up making the difference in the division.
Now, of course, guys, there is another championship going on right now. There's the World Series. Has anybody watched it? Bill, you're the only semi-baseball fan. Did you watch any?
I haven't watched an entire game or anything, but I've watched bits and pieces of it.
Do they have a crowd?
Yeah, there is a crowd. In fact, there was a guy the other night out in left field who made like a really kind of leaned back against the seats and raised up and made this catch and got so excited he started shaking his arms and accidentally tossed his glove into left field. And the Rays outfielder had to throw it back to him. It's one of those limited, 20% kind of things. It might be
Florida's
10,000
crazy.
people.
Yeah. Well, as far as the
Let me
World
ask a
Series,
question too. I don't want to derail you,
Yeah.
but I was just thinking of how Florida's crazy. Trump voted in person today in Florida.
well, doesn't he have that Mar-a-Lago or whatever down there? Is that his residence?
I'm asking a question. I didn't.
It's either Florida or New
basically-
York. I don't know which one he
I
lives in.
think he's officially a Florida resident.
Oh, okay. I just
Yeah,
was like,
that-
yeah.
Or maybe he's
Mar-a-Lago
Chinese
or
because that
Florida.
Chinese bank account.
But like, isn't
Dun,
this the
dun,
guy
dun.
who's always quoting like what New York used to be? And
Yeah.
He's down in Florida. Like, let me get this vote in real quick.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, why is he voting early?
He's got things to do.
Yeah,
No, he doesn't want to catch COVID.
You heard in Michigan you might have guns. So he wants to get
It's like,
voted.
dude, it's gonna get crazier on this poll. I don't care.
So anyway, as far as the World Series go, the Dodgers are up 2-1. It's baseball. Sorry, this podcast is not a huge on baseball.
And again, I don't know. But isn't this a big deal for the Dodgers to finally get over the hump if they do
Yeah,
win?
I heard they have a
'Cause
high payroll where the Rays do not.
Yeah, and I've always heard that like the Dodgers are one of these teams that got a ton of talent, but they could never get over the hump. So apparently, this is them getting over the hump or something. I don't know. But don't come to us for your NHL, your MLB. We got very little.
This is something like I don't know the exact figure. It's something like their third World Series in the last like 5 years or something, but they haven't won.
This is one of the lowest rated World Series, by the way, too. NBA Finals and this both all-time low in ratings.
I got to tell you guys, I'm struggling hard with what's on what nights and all this kind of stuff. TV is a jumbled mess. NFL games are getting bumped to these days, and I don't know what the hell's going on. So, like, I got to tell you, I don't blame anyone because TV schedules are a nightmare right now. I'd hate to be the guys programming those guides like for DirecTV and shit. Like, dude, wait, what day? Oh my god, it's crazy.
All right, so there we go. That's a look at some of the news, some of the little bit mostly sports heavy. I wanted to get away from some of the COVID stuff because we all heard enough of that during the week. Now, Bill, I don't know if you had a chance to catch them, but did you catch the Frito-Lay Nashville Hot?
You cannot find these anywhere.
Oh, I don't know how Michelle found them,
Well,
but
let me turn and look at this glorious bag I have behind me.
yeah. So we might have to sell these on eBay instead of eating them.
Yeah.
But Nashville Hot. Now, Nashville Hot is one of my preferred flavors. I do like the KFC Nashville Hot chicken.
Yeah.
And I do like if you go to
It's
Hattie.
got a Tabasco-y.
Yeah, and if you go to Hattie B's in Nashville, Tennessee,
Oh, listen to Steve.
they got a delicious Nashville hot chicken there as well. So let's see if they can replicate that.
Yeah, I love a barbecue hot chip or something like that, like a what do you call it? A better made red hot chip or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to go nuts on the Jay's Red Hot chips back in the day.
Yeah, they're delicious, right?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, these are terrible. They got a weird chicken flavor to them. Why'd they have the weird chicken flavor? Why'd they just make them like Nashville hot?
It's supposed to be. Are they supposed to taste like chicken? I don't know why they're tasting like
Yeah,
chicken.
it is actually Nashville hot chicken flavored.
Oh, I didn't see the chicken part. I wasn't paying attention.
Those are very mediocre.
I think I'd rather just have a regular hot chip or a barbecue chip. So not a fan of the Nashville Hot. Now, Lay's does love their flavors. There's also a Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Oh, where's that one at? We had the one that Wiggs brought the one time, the Meyer version of like steak and onion. If you remember, we had those chips back in the day. Those are pretty good.
I don't know. Big thumbs down. I like Nashville hot stuff, but it's just.
I'm gonna say it's not a thumbs down. I'm just underwhelmed by the flavor. I think I assumed it was more like the seasoning that goes on to Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah,
Not the actual Nashville hot chicken tender. That's a little weird.
Like I said, it's on a shelf sitting next to like sour cream and cheddar or sitting next to regular.
Give me them cheddars.
Cheddar ones are gone.
Yeah, give me sour
Doritos.
cream
I need a
and
Dorito over that. So not a big flavor there. I don't know. That didn't sell me. I've been on a kick with the kettle chips, the extra crunchy kettle chips. I like those jalapeno ones from Kroger. Oh man, love those things with a good sandwich.
I also got to tell you, I've become a bit of a chip snob. To your point with the kettle chip, I don't like an OG Lay's chip with just a really thin chip. Like, can't I get a ruffle?
Breaks.
Yeah, just shrapnel in your hand.
The Filmo grease over the top of it.
Oh yeah, that too.
I don't
But
know,
they make
man.
the Lay's wavy one. It's a little thicker, and that works good for dip.
Yeah,
I like that one.
all day.
Or a Ruffles, like
I
you
think
said.
like the bare minimum you should have is some kind of ridge or something.
I mean, I do like a better made, but not for dipping anything.
So if you got Steve, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You get one chip for the rest of your life.
the rest of my life,
The one chip. That's all you get, and that can be a tortilla chip, a regular. I don't care.
It's
One chip.
It's a
all-
Tostito because I'm dipping some hot sauce, sour cream, cheese dip.
Yeah.
you know,
So it's Tostito with all the accoutrements.
I'm the whitest Mexican you ever see in your
Yeah.
life because I'd eat the shit out of that.
Dude, so
It's a Tostito, man.
Tostito. BB, what do you got? One chip, rest of your days.
It'd be tough because you're throwing tortilla chips in there. But if I were to set the tortilla chips aside, since Steve already took it, Cool Ranch Doritos.
Ooh,
I love a Cool Ranch Dorito.
I
with
can't
BB.
stand.
Cool Ranch Dorito is awesome.
I love ranch, but I just don't like those chips.
Cool Ranch is great, man.
I know
He's
you've
spot
always
on.
liked them.
I love them, man.
Holly likes them. Bill, I'm in the minority. I know that, but I like regular OG Doritos. I don't want spicy. I just want regular nacho flavored Doritos. If I had to pick.
And then mine would probably be a kettle cooked mesquite barbecue chip.
That is very specific.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
Over a nacho chip though, that you could dip in many different nacho dips.
If you took the nacho chips, because like I also like a brand called Donkey Chips. Don't get me going on Donkey
Do they
Chips.
sell them at Donkey Punch Pizza?
Yeah, they're the best chip on the planet. But my point being, you took I was going to let you have the tortillas. BB is going to have his.
Yeah.
And
I like a good kettle chip.
Kettle chip because it's thicker, and then like I like the sweeter barbecue taste on it, and the mesquite ones have that sweeter barbecue taste.
Man, so there we
What are
go.
your thoughts on the old school mesquite crunchers?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah,
Bill's like a
it's right on. Yeah.
Any update on that Penn State game?
They are in overtime.
College football overtime is so annoying.
Yeah,
Okay, you get it from the 17.5. Then we're going to give it.
But at least you get a winner, though.
You have to fumble the ball. No, it's like, wait, what? What are these rules?
You have to put the ball between your butt cheeks.
No. This is the third one, so you got to go over, kiss a cheerlealler, then you get to hike the ball.
This one's just all safeties. Whoever gets a safety
it's so
first.
stupid. It's like, what is this?
But in all fairness, though, a lot of people do prefer it over the pro overtime, and you don't get ties. So a lot of people do like the college overtime better. I'm just saying,
Hey, that tie is helping my Eagles take over.
I don't understand why there's a tie in the NFL. Why can't they just play until there's a winner? I never understood that in the NFL, but whatever. So now we're going to go to some reviews, and I've got some surprises this week that I like. Some things that I did not anticipate, and I hated other things, or not hated, but disliked some of the stuff I wanted to like, which is always a bummer. So first up, continuing on with my Banshee marathon, I'm on Banshee season 2 now of the Cinemax
I think
show.
you're the only one streaming this show.
No,
right
I am. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I am the only one that
There's
keeps
someone at a server farm somewhere is like, whoa, someone's actually watching that thing? Holy crap.
I am the only
blow
reason.
the dust off the
There's
digital
a Cinemax
file.
app. It's because of
They
Steve and
plug
Michelle
in the
Markey.
thumb drive, and they're like, I
You
guess
might be
it's
the only
got.
person watching Cinemax at all.
Yeah, I
mean,
know I
it's
am.
crazy.
Like I told you, the first season was like Roadhouse, the series.
Yeah.
This is more of that, but now it's starting to insult me.
I told you.
It's like, but now I put 2 seasons in, so now I feel obligated to finish it. But it's like, so they're pulling crimes, right? And they don't have any masks on. They have no gloves on. It's like there's no fingerprints. There's no video of these people anywhere. There's one they do an armored truck. They flip a Dodge Ram around backwards, put the tailgate up to the armored truck, doing like 70 down a freeway.
I don't think you can go backward doing 70, can
They
you?
did in this show, so don't ask me.
Does reverse have gears? What's license to drive have to say?
I don't know, but they did do that, and again, robbed the armored car. No one had any masks on, and the armored car drivers didn't see him. It's like, are you serious right now? So it's insulting the hell out of my intelligence, but I got to finish it now because I feel obligated. So the first season was cheesy Roadhouse fun, so it's a 7. This one just continues on with it, but now you're like, okay, half the shit good. So now I'm down to a 6. I'm going to go see if it goes down, how far it goes down by the time it's over. Found out there's 4 seasons, so I got 2 more seasons.
Jeez.
But they're not long. They're like 8 episodes
What year did
each.
it air?
2013 to 2016.
Oh, okay.
So it's relatively new, but so I'm down to, it was started at a 7. I'm at a 6 now. We'll see what season 3 does. They caught the main villain that they were after the first 2 seasons. Spoiler alerts on a 5-year series.
Yeah, because you're again the only one watching.
No one's
this
watching
show.
this beside me.
I think BB's right. No one's watching Cinemax but you.
Yeah, so there we go. Now here's another. This is the one that surprised me. Ted Lasso. Now essentially, a little background. Jason Sudeikis plays Ted Lasso. He is like this dorky, like Division II football coach in America, who takes a job to go to England and become a head, what they call it, a football manager of a soccer team in London. I guess this character during the Olympics, or not the Olympics, when NBC had the soccer world championships or whatever, they did commercials with him as this character, and they kind of built on that to make this show. It's basically Ned Flanders coaches soccer. I guess I kind of like this show. I don't know why.
You said that people are kind of into it too. You've said that.
Yeah,
like it's getting
gets
well
positive
received
review,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So I don't
8
know.
episodes.
I don't know.
They make him so goddamn likable. You want to hate him, but
And
he's
then
like-
isn't there like the chick from like Major League that like owns the soccer
yeah,
team?
but
too?
it's her ex-husband, and she hires him to ruin. So there's I found out I must be a huge fan of sports tropes. That's what it is. Because every one of them is in here, right? So the owner that doesn't want to succeed despite her ex-husband.
Yeah.
There's the hotshot young guy who's really good, but everyone else just kind of, and he's not a team player. There's the grizzled veteran that should be the leader, but doesn't want to step up and be the leader.
He doesn't do anything original, but
nothing
you're into
original
it.
whatsoever. But just Jason Sudeikis' character is so likable. He's such a dork and he's funny. And I like the show. I was shocked. I thought I was gonna hate it. I'll watch this any day of the week over C. I'll tell you that much. Or the
How many episodes is the season? Curiously,
8. I think it's 8 or 10. 22 minutes each
standard
episode.
streaming season.
Released them week by week, right?
Yeah, but I think the whole series is out now on Apple TV because I came into it late. It came out over the summer or something like that. This could have easily been on network TV, though. I'm surprised, and they probably shopped it around. I'm surprised NBC just didn't take this show, but I'm very surprised by it. It's an enjoyable show. None of the characters are overly hateable or anything like that. Like I had a problem with the Mythic Quest or whatever, where a lot of those actors and characters are like, "Oh, Jesus, you guys." No one comes off that way in this, and you get to see a little slice of Britain, you know, of England, and he goes over there and drinks tea and goes, "Nope, hate it. It's just dirty water." He can't like tea and some of the things they do and some of the language and. I found it enjoyable. I found something on Apple TV I actually like. I don't know why. Everyone will probably watch it and go, what the hell did Steve see in this? It's old school, by the numbers, sports trope show. Very family friendly. It's out of my comfort zone. There's no one naked. There's no wars and there's no armies.
Wow.
So I kind of liked it. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. If there's a second season.
It's like the talk of my office. Basically, half my coworkers love this show.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's no Office or Parks and Rec.
Sure, it's not going to reinvent the wheel. To your point,
but if you like cheesy, fun sports stuff, this is right up your alley. You know. Okay. So there you go.
And if you're looking to justify that Apple Plus TV Plus, subscription.
Listen, I feel much better watching this than Mythic Quest, and then that's C. That's 2 hours of my life never getting back. But Ted Lasso, thumbs up for that one. Now, this is the one I thought I would like more than I do. Now, it's not called Borat 2. It's got a super long name. Borat's subsequent movie to give Sexy Monkey to Mike Pence and blah, 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 blah. So this broadcast on Amazon. Charles, you were the bigger Borat fan than I ever was.
Yeah.
You're actually the Sacha Baron Cohen guy and a huge fan of awkward comedy. Way more than I am. So why don't you take this one on the Borat?
So I had to get Amazon Prime against my better judgment to get my pots and pans cheap on Prime Day. But it worked out because the 1 month that I bought, I knew that Borat was coming out during this month. And to Steve's point, I loved the first one. I thought that his ability to, expose stupidity without them getting the fact that he's exposing their stupidity is super funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a hilarious way. Now, fast forward to the sequel, it's very much, it starts out very like the original Borat. Like he's sitting on the couch of his one producer guys, and then, of course, there's a dick on the couch.
Or they're hitting the hammer game, and it's going up to his nuts. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's funny stuff. Like it's basic Borat initially. But then he starts to come to the United States, and it's based on a loose premise with his daughter and all this kind of stuff. But it's more Borat, right?
Yeah.
The issue is, and I thought one of the things that I had a problem with is to Steve's point, we were talking pre-show, is it's skewed very political. Whereas the first one would touch on it with Premier Bush and all this kind of stuff, and a little bit, but didn't go crazy into it.
Yeah.
This one's pure politics. So know what you're getting into there. That's why they wanted to release it before the election day. But the other thing that people don't realize, too, is how are people still getting fooled by Borat?
That was my problem mostly with the movie.
But, and then a lot of people... So then he is in a lot more costumes in this one than he was in the original one. Yes. But it's, so over the top. It's like, wait, how is anyone getting fooled by this? It just seemed crazy to me. I don't know.
And then the original came out in 2004, right?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
There was social media and stuff, but not as big as it is now. So
they made a crack about the phones and stuff like that. Yeah,
and if you ever Bill's on Facebook, there's tons of videos that show up of people pulling awkward pranks on people all the time now. It kind of like Borat. Like there's one with the 2 escalators, one going up, one coming down. You'll have your buddy recording it, and the guy will go up the escalator and just rub another dude's arm as he's going up the escalator.
Where does this take place at? Because I'd like to go and get my arm.
I know. So
I need some physical contact.
So you
I
get
don't
to see the
understand.
guy's reaction to him being. It's very Borat. Just so people are familiar now that they're always being videotaped and stuff. So it's hard for me on this movie. Especially in the doctor's office, we sit in with his daughter. So there's a cameraman sitting right there.
Yeah.
And so it's like they got to be maybe not fully in on it, but a little. You got to know something's up if a cameraman's sitting there. You know, so it's like, ugh.
And like you said, I don't know how they film these. Unfortunately, like we talked about pre-show, there's a couple really funny bits. And then it's just kind of like, a couple side chuckle, like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't do... The first one, to me, was just... It's the best Sacha Baron Cohen character in the Borat character.
Yeah.
And the first one was just so funny to me. I can't...
Well, it was so fresh and new.
Oh,
no one
my
really did that kind of
God.
awkward humor. It was like Candid Camera, but raunchy. You know, so no...
But like I said, like, he oddly exposed them in their stupidity, but they didn't know that they were being exposed.
Yeah, and this one feels like a lot of people are kind of... Like, they kind of know they're being...
Yeah.
Then that's kind of a
know.
bummer about it. There are 2 or 3 great scenes in it that had me laughing.
Hey, I'll tell you this. If you have Amazon Prime for everything else, you should probably do yourself a service and watch Borat too. I guess,
Or The Boys. You can watch that too. Just kidding. I just want to see your reaction.
So I guess what I will say is it doesn't get the usual Amazon Prime hatred I'd have for it because it is Borat. But it's no more than like a 7. It's an average movie. It's nothing great. It's nothing terrible. I would say it's a little better than a Steve 6 because I'm endeared to Borat. But like I'll give it a 7. But trust me, it's not a hard thing.
It's nothing you have to go out and get Amazon Prime for. Bill, are you a fan of the Borat or that awkward type of humor stuff that he does?
Some of it. My recollection of the first one is that I went from being like rolling almost like off the chair funny, cracking up, and some of the things were so just over the top, cringy that I was, I don't know if I still want to watch this. So it kind of like, you can tell it takes you to the edge, way over the edge. I mean, it's a funny character, so I'm not into it the way Charles was, but and I do plan to watch this movie.
It wants to be that polarizing, though. Like, the whole point of Borat, for me anyway, is it wants to have that moment of, like, holy shit, into, like, what am I watching? You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. Borat's got to go back and forth on you.
And it did exactly that with the first one. Like, it literally, like, it crossed my throat. There were a couple times, I think there was one particular scene, and maybe it was just the whole too soon thing. I remember there being a scene where he ends up like blaming the Jews for 9/11.
And he gets more into the Jews stuff too. He gets real deep.
It was just like, he definitely went over the line for me a few times. But it was so funny
because he's a Jewish guy and he's talking about that's the whole like. I just love that kind of stuff.
I'll say out of all his characters though, this is the only one. I don't like Bruno. I didn't like the Bruno.
I don't either. I
didn't like
Ali
the
G.
Dictator movie. I didn't like the Ali G.
No.
So if
I did like John Gerard from Talladega Nights.
Oh well, yeah, that was like an actual character in a scripted movie.
Yeah.
So Charles goes with 7 because I think that's a little nostalgia. I'm going with a 6. The Steve 6. I mean, it wasn't bad, wasn't great. Michelle hated it. She was out almost immediately. But like I said, there's a couple scenes that Dan seen. And, of course, everyone's talking about the Rudy Giuliani thing.
It's cringy. I do.
It ends kind of quickly and awkwardly, so it's like you make you wonder where it would have went.
Yeah.
But so there we go. It's on Amazon. They bought it for $125 million.
Wow.
I think it was $125 million. Maybe I'm thinking of Coming to America too. But they bought a lot of money for it and put it on Amazon, so he made his money. And so you watch.
What about the manual? Too?
Oh yeah, the manual's funny too. There's parts to it that are really good. It's just, I felt like maybe just go for a scripted comedy, like his shit in.
Yeah, but then we're into like, see, that's your thing. That's a Kevin Smith thing. I'll just tell you that's.
You don't like The Hangover?
That's but I'm just saying like that. You want it more like akin to like a Jay and Silent Bob, where it's like these two guys going around the country and do like again the Kevin Smith stuff. That's not what Borat is. Borat's supposed to take you into that like you said, like
But then you run the problem where you feel like people are in on it.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Which
I don't
may
know
not
what
be
you
true,
do.
but,
Trust me, I'm not smart enough to fix it. All I'm saying is, like, I don't want him to skew Kevin Smith. You want him to skew Kevin Smith.
Well, when I say scripted comedy, I don't automatically mean Kevin Smith.
Yeah, but I think that's what
there's,
I think that's where we
Caddyshack,
would
there's
end up.
tons
Is
of
what
funny-
I think would happen.
It's possible. All right, Charles. Now you saw something on Apple TV that I didn't see. So, On the Rocks. What is that?
So, okay.
You skipped Ted Lasso for On the Rocks? Oh, this is that.
Yes,
Bill Murray
this
movie.
is Sophia Coppola.
I want to
written
hope
and-
this is good.
Okay. This is Sophia Coppola, written and directed. Bill Murray, Rashida Jones, with Marlon Wayans playing her husband.
Yeah,
So far, I'm like, yes, I like this.
yeah.
Then you realize that Hollywood has an issue. Hollywood is in love with New York City. And Hollywood...
New York City.
So,
Sorry.
okay, let me set up what the premise of On the Rocks with Rashida Jones, because it's mostly Rashida Jones' vehicle with some Bill Murray sprinkled into it, because it's Bill Murray's new formula is I'm going to get me a young up-and-coming actress, and I'm
work
going to
with, yeah.
and I'm going to work with her and bounce stuff off, which is fine. I love Bill Murray. He's a national treasure. He's much like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We're like, I'm sorry, these two guys could do no wrong in America. These people are sainthoods. I don't know what.
So
we do.
him, Bill Murray, and Arnold Schwarzenegger should all do a movie together.
I'm just saying. I'm there day
Call
one.
the movie Triplets.
Yeah, I'm there day one. But my point being, I love Bill Murray. Can't get enough of him. So Rashida Jones marries Marlon Wayans, and they're in that marriage doldrum where, like, it's just the day to day. We have a couple kids, and now we're stuck in our ways. But Marlon Wayans is running like a startup company, and he's working with some beautiful young people, and he's out all the time. And then I'm Rashida Jones, and I'm a writer, but I can't write during the night because I have to take care of the kids, and we live in New York City.
I want to know. Everyone lives in New York. Are they writers? Is there like
It's just
8 million writers
Wait,
in New York?
I got another one.
They all
that's
hang
gonna,
out at coffee
You're going to be
shops?
like, seriously? Like, okay.
There's so many writers. in
And
New York.
again, Sophia Coppola must live in like a borough of New York or something like that to write this movie. So, okay, so she's a writer, but she suspects Marlon Wayans at his startup to be cheating on her or something's amiss. Mm-hmm. So then she goes to her dad, who happened to just come back into her life a little bit, and he is an art dealer.
Oh, of course.
Because this is normal,
Because
right?
this is New York. Yeah.
And they live in like a crazy New York lofty apartment with these two kids, and they're biracial kids. It's like, what on earth is happening right now? So,
Message.
yeah, exactly. So Bill Murray can't turn himself off. Does that make sense? Like Bill Murray's Bill. As soon as he shows up, he's just Bill Murray. Like he just can't. It's the weirdest thing. Like he transcends a script into Bill Murray every time. So he immediately goes into like, oh, he's definitely cheating on you. He's definitely cheating. We got to get proof. So then it kind of gets kind of good during these times when it's basically Bill Murray with Rashida Jones in tow. We're going to prove that Marlon Wayans is cheating on you. And that's the whole premise of the movie until it becomes towards the end where their caper to find him cheating on her kind of blows up in her face, and then she gets into, why did I follow you? You cheated on Ma. And basically it boils down to Bill Murray is trying to make amends but wants to spend time with his daughter. And then that's what he kind of concocted this whole, like he added fuel to the fire of Marlon Wayans. So Marlon Wayans didn't actually cheat on her, spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm never going to watch it.
It's just, but the whole time you're just like, Hollywood has got to stop this whole thing with like, it's just New York vomits on a movie all the time.
Who's going to relate to
It's
this
just,
movie?
and then that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want people across the country to go and see your motion picture, it is the most turn-off thing for me. Why are we set in, like, hardcore New York? Why are we checking so many boxes? Why are we... And again, I love Bill Murray, but it's just such an average movie. And again, I'm going to start the whole Charles 7 thing. It literally is a C average movie. And even,
Sounds like a 3 to me.
yeah, well,
3 points for Bill
yeah.
Murray. The rest is crap.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I just gave you the whole movie in a nutshell. Probably avoid it.
Yeah.
But it's just.
Bill's gonna run it. He's gonna go out and get Apple TV just
I
for
mean,
that
does
movie.
this sound even
I'll
remotely
get right
intriguing
on
to BV after I just described it? What is BV's thoughts?
No.
I got a bone to pick with you because all those years ago you made me watch Lost in Translation.
I ain't lost in translation.
That
It's a
movie,
great
'cause
movie.
same lady, Sophia Coppola did that.
I
The only highlight of that is Scarlett Johansson running around in fucking panties with her ass hanging out. Everything else in that movie sucked. Everything
I did you a
sucked.
favor then.
Yeah, okay. For 30 seconds of a
I don't
movie,
know, man.
that movie was
I
terrible.
I got Bill Murray goggles. I really
like
do.
that one with him and Melissa McCarthy, where he
That
befriends
Saint
that.
Vincent, where he goes
Saint-
over
yeah,
the
that's
top.
a great movie. But
He does a lot of the subtle things, though. Now that's his move too. Is like, okay, I'm not going to go full Bill Murray. I'm going to let the script kind of rein me in a little bit, but I'm still Bill Murray the whole time.
there's a rule of thumb I'm starting to believe in, and it's anything with Rashida Jones in, don't watch it.
No, she's getting
She was
blacklisted. dude.
well, she was in Parks and Rec for a little bit. She was okay in that. But that Angie Tribeca, I tried watching that on
I
TV.
don't think I've
It's
seen
not
that.
funny at all. I don't even know what
I
that.
don't know what it
it's like a
is.
bad
The
airplane.
Tribeca's a New York thing, isn't it?
Well, she's a police
Yeah, it's
detective
the
of some
neighborhood in
sort.
New York City. Yeah.
Yeah,
right? Is it
it's-
back to New York and how great New York is?
It's like trying to be over the top, like Airplane the movie.
Oh,
It's like Naked Gun trying to be comedy, but it's not even half as good as
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen
Yeah, I
did all
was
those
gonna say,
years
where's
ago.
Leslie Nielsen?
So I hate that. And now you said this, and there's a couple other things I saw, and I was like, God, this is terrible. I'm not gonna blame her personally, but I don't know. Her track record is like 1 for 10. So
I drink the Bill Murray Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
He's
A lot
got
of
to
us
be
do.
just the most entertaining person to just be around. I
Yeah.
don't know how else to describe. Like I said, like I'd love to drink Terramana tequila with those two, and just like, dude, like holy crap! Like, tell me a story, you two. Like,
Like
what's
for
going-
years, when me and Bill were like, it'd be just so cool to sit around and listen to Ric Flair tell stories.
Yeah,
It'd probably be the same thing with Bill Murray.
Yeah,
just sit around
like,
listening to him tell stories.
golly, man, he is just
His story's probably about John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd alone. Probably be worth watching.
dude. I can't explain.
But
it.
unfortunately, you had to sit through a shitty
Yeah.
Sophia Coppola movie.
Yeah, it
I-
just-
that-
and then,
that's
like I
nepotism
said,
for that
like
one.
it's just the. Hollywood has got to stop with these love letters to New York City. I can't take it anymore.
Well, that
Like,
was the
I don't
problem with the Adam
understand.
Driver movie with him and Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
arguing. That was all New York, and he's a play director.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, Jesus.
yeah, and then they go to she's in the ballet and all that. It's like dude, I can't do this.
So,
Sometimes.
before you
no
go-
one lives like this.
Before you go on to your next turd, Bill, is there an update on that Penn State Indiana game?
Yeah, actually, we have a final. In fact, I saw a little bit of how this played out, so I'm gonna
Hold on.
take
What
you
is the
back a
final?
little
What
bit.
is the
So-
final, Steve?
Hold on, I'm gonna take before I give you the final. I'm gonna take you back to where we first started. So apparently, when Penn State went up 28-20 on Indiana late in the game, it was about 1:40 to go. They were up by 1. They handed the ball off. It was about a 15-yard run. The guy goes to slow down to stop to, take a knee or whatever so they could run the clock out. He ran too far and went into the end zone and scored the touchdown accidentally for them to go up 8. So then, of course, IU comes in, they score a touchdown, they go for 2 and get it to tie, so they go into overtime. Penn State scores a touchdown. Indiana answers with a touchdown and decides to go for 2. And successful. Indiana 36-35 win over Penn State. Big upset.
That is a huge game of the weekend right there.
Yeah.
Man. That sounds great.
The one game we missed.
Yeah, what the hell?
I saw all those
Yeah,
turds, and that's the one we
No
missed.
one would have turned on Penn State, Indiana.
No. What station's that
the
even
video
on?
of the accidental touchdown is hilarious because this guy goes to slow down to like stop to try to take it easy. He's doing something clever, and he's like, "Fuck, he's in the end zone."
Oh, wow. Oh, dang. That's great.
Upset of the weekend. There
yeah,
we go.
Wow. Sounds awesome.
All right, Charles. Tell us about John Bronco.
Okay, so
What the hell is this?
so let
Yeah,
me
what
tell
is John Bronco?
Okay, let me tell you. So
Oh, you told me earlier.
Steve has a man crush on Jeffrey Dean Morgan or whatever his nuts is from Walking Dead Negan, right?
Yeah.
We've always established
Get your
I
shitting
break his
pants
balls.
on.
Steve loves some Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I have a man crush on Walton Goggins.
I like the guy.
think
He was
is
great in Vice
hila-
Principals.
Anything with Danny McBride, he is a gem or a gemstone. Oh my God. When he plays Baby Billy Freeman, I
good
love
stuff.
that dude. I can't get enough. He's got such a weird mannerisms about him and just He's got them big, gaudy, fake teeth. I just love Walton Goggins.
Why does he have such big fake
I don't
teeth?
know, but they're amazing. That's all I know. But whatever dentist he needs to go back and be like, really? These fit my mouth?
Side note, are you still watching the CBS show with him in it?
No, the unicorn? I couldn't do it. It's just,
Yeah, much I love this guy. This show's terrible.
dude,
Well, that's what
but-
this guy is. I like that show.
Oh, you like the unicorn?
Yeah.
Disconnect from Bill.
Yeah, maybe your connection's getting bad. So again, I can't get enough Walton Goggins. I've got a hang up. I've got issues.
Okay.
So then I follow Walton Goggins on Instagram. And
Of course you do, because that's what every straight man does.
What's that?
Follow other men celebrities.
Oh my God, you have no idea. I usually so many things. But the point was he advertised John Bronco's back, and it's Walton Goggins as a character, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening. This sounds awesome. So Walton Goggins playing John Bronco. So then it's on Hulu. Steve has a hard and fast rule about them Hulu.
Because I'm right.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, this did not go a long way to dispel the Steve theory about the Hulu.
0 for 4 on the Hulus for me.
So this is basically a mockumentary.
As I spit on the mic.
Okay, Chunky's on the mic. So this is a mockumentary about a character named John Bronco, who Ford Motor Company hired a guy to do the Bronco ad, but at the time they didn't name the Bronco, and they named the Bronco motor vehicle after John Bronco. That's the premise of this mockumentary.
It's kind of a funny concept.
Sounds great on paper, and I'm sure it was a blast to film, but man, is it a tough watch. And again, I am a huge Walton Goggins fan. I got issues with Walton Goggins, to Steve's point. It's that Best in Show, Spinal Tap, mockumentary thing. And like Steve said, he kind of threw him back at me about The Office in the midweek, and he's right. I love The Office. But in general, these mockumentaries are just terrible. Yeah. So, of course, at some point, they discontinue the Broncos, so then he ends up in Iceland somewhere. And this is all supposed to be funny, but it's just flat and awful. And it's just,
it was on Hulu.
Yeah, I don't know, Steve, man. And if I'm going to give On the Rocks a 7 just because it's average, I'm going to give this like a 4. It is that bad. Nice. And that's only because of my love of Walton Goggins and what I know he can be and what he is in shows like Sons of Anarchy, anything with Danny McBride. I mean, I can keep naming you good things with Walton Goggins. He's great. With this one, he is off, man. I don't know what it is about mockumentary.
If your movie makes it to Hulu, it is garbage.
Yeah, and you had a Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I'm 0 for 4 on Hulu. I kept trying.
it.
I got to the point where Michelle won't watch a movie on Hulu. She said, no. I was like, well, but no.
This just came out now. Yeah, so do yourself a favor. Avoid John Bronco. But anything else with Walton Goggins, except for CBS show, I know BV likes it. I'm going to say he's a widow, and it's just such a basic show. It bums me out because I don't feel like they're using Walton Goggins to his full potential in that show.
Yeah.
And it's got the big guy from Ballers in it. It's got Rob Corddry. Yeah.
What did you say, Bill?
Yeah. What's wrong with basic shows?
That's a really bad one. I don't know, man. I just watch Walton Goggins. Anything
Rob Corddry and the other guy, I can't remember the other guy's name, the guy that plays Charles, the
big
lineman.
guy,
Yeah, the baller
the
guy.
guy in Ballers. They make the show.
Yeah.
He's not particularly funny in it at all.
Because he's like a widower thing. It's like him getting back out there. It's terrible. I don't know, man. I got my man crush with Walton Goggins. I love the dude. Even Heather rips on me for it. I do. I got a soft spot for that guy. And again, baby Billy Freeman is the funniest shit you'll ever see. Oh my God, he's singing that song with his sister. Oh my God. And then Vice Principals? Come on. That was a good show. Dude. And again, he's great in Sons of Anarchy. It's just
I even forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he played the tranny. It was crazy.
So, well, they all can't be winners, Charles.
Yeah, that is true. And this one's a wig.
Rule of the podcast: do not watch movies on Hulu.
Yeah.
TV shows are fine, not movies.
Yeah.
All right. So this is just second thoughts on a game Charles reviewed last week, Mafia 2. Now, I played it on PC. Charles played it on PS4.
Well, we might as well talk about the whole trilogy.
Talk about the whole trilogy.
Yeah, so I worked my way into 3. Steve's still stuck at 2.
I'm not gonna do 3 because I played it on Xbox 360.
Yeah, you already had played 3 and all this kind of stuff. So what is Steve's thoughts on just the second Mafia, the definitive edition on PC or PS4?
PC. I played it on PC.
So you could even jack the resis up.
Yeah, I had it on full blast, and it was still jagged. Like
It looks
the
like
circular
garbage.
hat was. Yeah, it looked like a mid-tier PS3 game.
Yeah.
Is what it looked like on a PC. So there you go. Now, one thing I will give it credit for, I never had to restart or it never crashed on PC.
I had a couple crashes.
And you said it did on
Couple
PS4.
crashes,
So
yeah.
the less buggy version is actually on PC.
It's
ironic that almost never happens.
And for the record, it's not unplayable on PS4, but it definitely has some issues.
Yeah, and I never ran into that.
It would just, I'd hate to get through a mission and have it dump on you.
So it's the things I liked. I liked the story. The story's pretty solid. I felt that the cars were a little faster and can control better in this one than the first one.
But that's part of the charm
I know.
of the series.
I was driving a potato in the first one.
Yeah.
I'm driving a yam in this one. So, and it covered quite a bit.
What'd you think of the time jump?
I thought it was okay. I was like, prison, really? They really loved their new fist fight mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, they shoehorned that in everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you never played the Batman games, but the last Batman game, they put the Batmobile in, and they're like, we got to make them do a lot of Batmobile stuff. This felt the same way. We learned how to make them fist fight. They got to fist fight a lot. And I was getting a little annoyed by the fist
Especially
fights.
in prison.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Christ, here we go, another fist fight. So that was a little much, but it's not as good. The first one felt like it had a lot more time develop. They just put more into that first one, definitive edition, than this one. And this one it shouldn't have been called definitive edition. Should have been Mafia 2, kind of redone.
The advanced.
yeah. Mafia 2, we messed with it a little. Maybe call it that because I don't know. It's still a solid game, so I'd give it a 7 on PC. It didn't crash for me. It just don't go into it thinking it's going to be. You want better graphics? Ironically, play the first one.
Well, the first new definitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one, as far as definitive edition goes, they just put a smooth coat of. It's like an old dirty bathroom, and all they do is paint the walls, but left the bathroom dirty. So that's essentially.
I had
what
a
it
lot
was.
of like weird clipping issues too, where it was like he had a hat on in one of my cutscenes, and his head was stuck in the middle of the hat. And stuff like that. Yeah, it was weird.
And one of the things I really, truly give them really great credit is one of your missions is popping the dude from the first.
I told you that
I did not see that
ago.
coming. I was like,
and
oh,
they actually did a better job. So in the first Mafia, when I played it originally in the PC years ago, it was very nondescript who killed you at the end. In the redo, the new definitive edition, they made it Vito Scaletta and Joe Barbaro, your characters from too. And I thought that was great. It was just so to play it through your eyes would be even better than I had.
I thought that was great how they did that. So in this one, for some reason, the cops felt a little more touchy. I had more cop chase, especially I told you that last mission where you have to get up 27 grand. You get 25 grand from killing the one
You
dude.
did it completely different than me.
I robbed a couple stores, and every time I did, as soon as I did, the cops were there.
4
It's like,
stars.
here we go. Yeah, so I had to repeat it like 5 times. I was getting so pissed. I never knew you could take the car to the ground. See, I took a car to the junkyard. I went inside to talk to the guy. He never talked. He just stood there.
Wait, what?
So there was never. I didn't know that.
There's no prompt. Yeah,
I should have put it in the grinder. But anyways,
yeah. And I struggled with the mission before that on the dock. Oh my God, Steve! I struggled mightily with that. I probably restarted that mission 25 times.
Oh, really?
I kept
My inner
dying
shooter
into the
came out.
garage. Yeah, I think it was because precision or something like that. Oh my God, it was driving me nuts.
You're like, I'm about to throw this thing.
Yeah, so then I left that one, finished up 2, didn't really play the DLC. The DLC's kind of whack.
Yeah, you were telling me about it. I just skipped it.
Kind of arcadey and lame. And then I went into Mafia 3. Now, 3 I had never played. You played on a previous gen console. So this is an up-resed version. I played the PS4 version, the definitive edition. So they moved the setting to this New Bordeaux, which is
like New Orleans.
Orleans.
Yeah.
So imagine the original Mafia is set in a Chicago kind of wannabe, the second one's set in a New York wannabe, and then this one's set in a New Orleans wannabe in the third one. You're
a black guy that came out of the military.
Yes, you just
was
got
it Vietnam?
released. It was Vietnam.
Yeah,
correct.
you're out of
it's like
Vietnam.
in that 70s area.
Yeah.
Or era.
Music was good if I remember that.
The music's great, and that's the case with all the Mafia games. But it just it lost its whole soul. Like
It
there's
didn't
no
feel like it had anything to do with the first two, except for the one mission. you
Yeah,
said.
there's so the Vito Scaletta, your character from 2, funds the mission, the main bank. They also changed the way they told the story here. It was like weird, like of documentaries being filmed, and then they're trying to talk your way through it and what people experience and stuff. I gotta tell you, I'm about a third of the way the third one, and I am super disappointed. Maybe I like the setting of the first two. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it just big misstep for me on Mafia 3 so far. I'm gonna get through it because I need to finish up the trilogy and everything, but it's just
Yeah, I some of the missions were nice. I think you had to rob a casino and stuff like that in Mafia 3. I don't remember all of them totally, but it felt like a knockoff of Grand Theft Auto.
it really lost its
Where the
soul.
other two felt a little different from Grand Theft Auto, this one really. Now back to 2 though, there's one thing I was not expecting is those collectible magazines were Playboys,
and they're full naked.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, there's titties. I was
Yeah.
like, I was not anticipating titties in a video game. So then, of course, I didn't go back and collect them all. I just looked them all up online. I was like, what are all? And then you realize, so these are Playboy bunnies from the 50s, right? So these, how old are these women now? They're mostly probably dead.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh my god, they're old grandmas now, and we're looking at them.
I gotta tell you, like, so if I'm gonna talk to BV and tell him to recommend a Mafia game, it's gonna be the first one, Definitive
Yeah,
Edition.
I think
by
Bill would-
a mile. It's not even close.
Bill
Like,
would really enjoy the first one, I believe.
the definitive edition of the original Mafia, the newest one that just came out by Hangar 13, is a great game.
And the second one's not bad, but I would wait
It's
for
dated.
a sale.
It's
Like,
very
if you can get it for like $20 on Black Friday, that's fine. But
and then probably just avoid 3.
yeah,
3
3 is just
so
Grand
generic.
Theft Auto. It's just
I
Grand
don't
Theft Auto.
know.
It's all third one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you totally on that one. All right, so there's the Mafia thing. I think we're finally done with the Mafia. We've all cracked through it all. So we're going to go to Bill's favorite segment of the podcast, and that's Steve's Animation Corner, because I never stop with the
Easy's
animation.
way into it.
So first up is a preview. It's coming to Netflix next week. It's called Blood of Zeus. Now, this is anime, and we all know my track record with anime, but this is based on Greek mythology and all the gods and stuff like that. It looks very similar to like a God of War, but the main guy doesn't. The main guy that I think is going to be the protagonist in the show looks more like he's from Clash of the Titans, but it looks pretty good. So I've seen the trailer. It looks entertaining. It's probably going to be about 8 episodes at about 20 minutes each, 20, 30 minutes each. I'm going to check it out. I hope next week I come here and don't say, yeah, it was pretty, but the story sucked. I mean, Greek mythology, you got to follow a certain story, right? It starts off with the Titans, and then the gods take the Titans out, according to the trailer. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this anime can break the mold of look pretty, but the story sucks. Now, this is the surprise of my week here. So Charles knows, and I don't know if Bill knows, I was calling AT&T and bitching about my internet, and they said they'd give me faster internet, but then they never did, so they gave me free HBO. I don't know how that worked out, but that's what I got. But on HBO Max, they have Adult Swim, and they have, Bill found the picture there. And on Adult Swim, in that section, there's a show called Primal. Now, Charles, you might know the guy who made this, GENNDY TARTAKOVSKY'S or whatever.
I don't know who this is.
He made Samurai Jack, and then you remember the Star Wars Clone Wars, the 2D one that was on Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
He made that too. So he's a. I don't know
I
if he-
didn't like those shows. I know you.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did like the Clone Wars one. Yeah, so he's famous for those two things, and so he made this. This is 5 episodes, 30 minutes each, called Primal. Basically, essentially, it's a caveman. It's fictional though. It's not because cavemen weren't around with dinosaurs. But
Well, I thought it was autobiographical.
yeah, well,
by
I mean,
caveman.
well, like there's that movie Alpha where it's cavemen and they befriend wolves and stuff. So, and then the caveman gets his whole family eaten by dinosaurs, and they show it. Like the mom gets caught in that. Very violent, super violent, blood everywhere, everything's super violent. And then so he ends up running into this other dinosaur who has 2 babies, and her babies get eaten by the same pack of dinosaurs. So they kind of team up to kill the dinosaurs that killed their families. And then from there on, it's him and this dinosaur basically going on weird. It's survival of the fittest kind of stories every week. And here's the weird thing about it, and this is why I think it's kind of unique and sticks out. No dialogue. The whole show is just, you hear like mood setting stuff, like you hear the dinosaur screaming, or you'll hear trees in the wind and stuff like that, but there's no dialogue in this whole show. and there's some music and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat. Do I need 10 seasons of this? No. The 5 seasons at 30 minutes each was very unique.
5 episodes, you mean?
Yeah, the 5 episodes at 30 minutes.
5 seasons of the
no,
show?
No. 1 season, 5 episodes, 30 minutes each. It's very unique, and it's kind of fantasy based because there's giant bats and some of it and stuff. Mind you, a lot of like Conan the Barbarian, but he's a straight. So most of it is them just trying to find shelter or food, and then other animals and creatures trying to kill them. So I gotta tell you, if you're into you want to see something different, and you want to see something unique, I guarantee you're not gonna see anything like this. So I liked it. I give it an 8 because it was just that unique. Michelle immediately hated it. She watched 5 minutes and goes, "What the hell? No one's talking," and walked away. I thought it was just one of those. This is like a Charles deep dive, but this is a Steve deep dive into something because it's animated. The movements and stuff and animated great. There's a lot of ambiance and stuff like that, and it's just very well done how they did all that.
I might have to check this out.
It's very unique. I'm telling you. And I'm just gonna watch
GENNDY
it.
TARTAKOVSKY is the guy.
Yeah. That's the guy who made it. But I mean, it just is primal when you go on HBO Max. So 8 out of 10 for me because it was just so different from anything I've seen before. So it's definitely meant for adults. It's super violent. It's super dark. So. There you go. There is some deep dive animation. You thought you couldn't get any deeper dive than our markers and colored pencils. Oh, no, my friend. I can really get
I
into
see
it.
you and I raise you.
Yeah, I know. So, Bill, tell us about our picks this week, what you got going.
All right. So, first to recap last week. So, last week we did get the victory. I took the Bengals. They were getting 8 points at Indianapolis. And as I stated last week, I thought that the Colts would ultimately win the game, but they wouldn't win by more than 8. The Colts ended up winning 31-27.
Higher scoring than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit lower scoring too. But this of course was a week that Philip Rivers actually decided to throw the ball. He was good last week instead of the normal turnover machine. Every 4 or 5 weeks he pulls some game. Usually when I'm betting against them. So now 3-2 on the year. So although we've two wins in a row. So the first case of not alternating back and forth. So see if we can start a streak here this week. So this week going with my squad, the Buffalo Bills. They are playing against the New York Jets. They are a 10.5 point favorites.
Wow,
that's a lot of
Yeah,
points in the NFL.
I understand it's a lot of points in the NFL, but here's a little bit behind where my thought process is coming here. First off, the Bills have just lost twice.
2 bad losses too.
Bigger
right?
games, yeah. So should be
two
pretty
good teams
steaming there. The Jets are not just 0-6 overall; they're 0-6 against the spread this year, and they've been pretty heavy dogs most of the year. They're the lowest scoring team in football. They average just over 12 points a game. They're also last in the league in passing yards, although there's a chance Sam Darnold may come back and play this week as opposed
It won't
to
matter. He sucks.
Joe Flacco. Well, yeah, he's not good either, but he can at least move, unlike Joe Flacco, who this game she took a 28-yard sack that took them out of field goal range. They also allow just over 30 points a game into their opponents. So they're losing on a regular basis in high double-digit fashion. So there's the past week or so, too, there's been now what you expect to start seeing with teams like this. Reports of dissents among the coaching staff. Players are coming out and voicing their frustration in public. We talked about this briefly last week. How does Adam Gase still have a job? My feeling on this is the week that, unless they are truly dedicated to the process in New York, whatever they think the process is, I think this is the week where a good, solid molly-whopping by a division opponent puts Adam Gase out the pasture for good in New York. So I'm taking the Bills and laying the 10.5.
Wow.
What is your thoughts on that, Steve?
What was I, about 70% last week with the
Yeah.
Bengals Colts? Good pick, Red Bill. Just came up a little higher scoring than I had anticipated. Jets did just shit can Le'Veon Bell for nothing. Just cut him and got nothing for him. They are tanking. One thing I have to say about the Jets and the NFL and the experts that keep telling me that Sam Darnold's great, that guy tongue sack too. I'm sorry. It's not just the team around him. He's just not that good. We've seen him in person. He blows. But 10.5. Woo.
That's gonna be 110% my point.
Yeah. So
I also think that the Bills are a little bit overinflated.
yeah, but you could see a 24-10 score, right? That's more than 10.5. Or even if it's 24-13,
I don't
right?
like 10.5 in the NFL.
24-13 is a good final.
I don't like double digits NFL. I don't like it.
I'm at 70% with Bill. I'm a 70% right here.
And I'm going to go I'll take the other 30 because I don't like double digits in the NFL. I just don't like it. There's too much parity in the league. And again, I'm not
Jets
here to
have none of the parity.
I'm not going to say that but and to BB's point, if they've lost 6 times against the spread, this will be the one time BB gets hosed. I just don't like 10.5 in the NFL is all I'm going to say. That's my only takeaway from that.
But I can see a 24-10 pretty easily, though.
I could be 110% wrong. What do I know? I don't know anymore with BB.
Something I thought was odd about this game, though, too, is, with the Bills being such a high favorite, the over-under, I think, is something like 45 or 46, which is a pretty low number. So I think that that Vegas is thinking something along the lines of a 24-10, maybe 30-10, or 27-14 kind of game.
That scares me. 10.5 points, a lot of points.
All right, so there we go. It's gonna be interesting. It'll be the game will not be on. I tell you what, though, I don't want to watch that game. I don't want to watch the Lions and Falcons, and that's my squad. So that's probably what we're getting.
I'll only watch just because it's my squad and because I've now made it the pick of the week. So.
He's got
I now have money on the game. So,
was there any other game you were considering?
Yeah, actually, and I almost went with it, but the Steelers again. I'm getting very close to taking them. They're actually getting 1.5 against Tennessee in Tennessee, and I like the Steelers to win that game straight up. But
Tennessee's due for a loss.
There's only so much Tannehill cheese you can pull.
Yeah,
he's got that Gremlin 5 game.
yeah.
But the thing is, though, that Derrick Henry is basically unstoppable right now.
Yeah, he is rolling.
Pittsburgh's defense is really good, except for last week.
Now that's the game I want to be on TV. Is that on TV tomorrow?
Probably not.
Yeah, that should be the 4:00 game tomorrow. That'd be great.
Yep, that'll be on at 1:00. We'll get the Lions.
Yeah, great, Leo. All right, Bill, we're rolling with you again, making all them ducats. I mean, I can see the pick. I could see it easily being 24-10. Like
you can also see the point of double digits in the NFL is always sketchy.
I'm also going to see a 12-10 game, too. Like, fuck.
Yeah, my concern in this game is that they go up and get a nice lead, and then when it's basically, some garbage time touchdown brings the number back.
No. Yeah.
That's my concern.
All right. So I got a couple reviews for you this week, Charles. Now, last week I showed you the unboxing of the Eufy, I already say it, floodlight security cam. So I've had a week with it.
How'd the install go and everything?
Install went well.
Straightforward, yeah.
Yeah. What do they call it? A junction box?
Yeah,
you just put a little metal bar on there, screw those in, and then the wires, tighten them up, and the ground to the ground, and then zip it in. Boom! It took 10 minutes to install. Not bad. Now I did find out on the front of my house I don't have a junction box. Whoever put the light up,
just raw
wires.
Happens a lot.
So then what would I do? I'd have a junction box sitting out on top of it.
You can't do that.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna put my other one on the back of the house. There's a floodlight in the back of the house. I'll replace that with the.
How's your Wi-Fi saturation?
Worked good. Everything works good. The only thing, if there's one thing I don't like about this light. During the day, it's fine. Okay, so you understand it's motion censored. So somebody walks by it, it goes off.
You can get them cobwebs at night.
At night, man, it is so touchy.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus it's been raining and windy.
Yeah.
So any leaf falls. I mean, I get up in the morning, I have like 60 notifications on the. I leave it on the iPad, not on my phone.
Okay.
So I go in and delete them all. It's just, it's super touchy at night. So I don't. It's no big deal. Like the light just kicks on.
Can you adjust the sensitivity with?
I have it all the way down to low.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have the area down to the lowest area where it just gets the door and the fence, and it's still going off. It may be 60. The first couple nights was 60 because I had it on high. Now I'm probably about 15 times a night it goes off.
Jeez.
But I mean, a couple of those are letting the dogs in and out. So
it's picking up people. It's doing
So if
what
I
it
had
needs to
Dad's
do.
chime on, I would have broke my iPad.
No one needs the prompt.
Yeah.
No one needs the prompt.
But other than
how's
that,
the image quality? Are you happy?
it looks really nice. Let me see if I got one to show you. It comes out really nice. Even at night, it looks pretty good. So that is amazing. So I mean, if anyone can see that. So there's like,
yeah, the image quality looks really nice.
it's a pretty good image quality on that, and even at night it looks like that. You can see that's Holly letting the dogs out,
Yeah.
but you can see, so it works pretty good. Solid camera. Like I said, a little touchy at night though, a little touchy. It's a little annoying, but I could turn the lights off, and then just have the camera. The camera will record in the dark without the lights on. So I could do that but it's middle of the night. It's on the side of the house. It's not shining in anyone's house. It's not shining in our windows. So
maybe it'll deter someone. You never know.
and it's also connected to the Google, so I can say, okay, Google, turn side door light on, turns on. If you want to go outside, do something outside.
If you had a Google display, could you see the live feed on it?
I think you can. The Nest Hubs things,
Yeah.
I think you can, but I don't.
So like that's how my Alexa, I can see the feed from my Wise cameras on the Echo shows that I have in the house. And stuff
yeah,
like that.
but
Pretty nice.
right now we don't have one of those Nest Hubs. I've been looking at those. Those have been on sale, but I was like, do I need it? I don't know. So,
The other move too is you can get it. So like, I have that Fire Stick down in the basement. You can do it up to a TV. So if you bought like the Google dongle, I'm sure you could display it onto the TV too. You could do it that way. That's always pretty snazzy, I think.
the Google dongle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I recommend them. I got them on sale for $139. Worth it. They're $200 regularly. So just random because it was the Amazon Prime Day, but I got it
What
from
kind
Best
of
Buy.
backlog are you getting as far as like keeping the clips and all that kind of stuff?
I go through every couple of days and delete most of it.
Do you?
Because most of it's just
Junk.
let the
False
dogs out.
is false is false.
Yeah. So the next up we have, this is the B-Bird build, and we're going to show Bill this up close and personal here. The B-Bird. Now, Michelle and Holly got this for me for Sweetest Day as a joke, kind of. They are obsessed with my ears. The one thing the Markies have are cysts and massive earwax, apparently. And this is essentially a camera with a scraper on it. It's a very soft nib at the end of it.
Nib.
Nib, I guess you can call it. And you could charge this on USB. It has a little charger that comes with it. Also, you got little replace nibs for the end of it. And essentially what you do is you turn it on. You put the app on your phone. And you turn on your phone. And there's a little power button on the bottom of it. Hold that in. The little light comes on. And then you take your phone or your iPad or whatever.
Pair to it, yeah.
You pair it to it. Sometimes it...
Steve with the live demos today.
Yeah, trying anyways. For some reason, it has to be switched to the Bird Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so you got to go in and pair it. I hate that.
Yeah, which is a little annoying.
You got to go and join the network for that one, and then it'll work. It's not Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi?
Well, it makes its own Wi-Fi, and then you have to connect to it.
I wonder why it's not Bluetooth. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It says it's connected. And I'm taking forever to get there.
This is fun for the listener right now.
All right, so now we got the camera connected to it. So I'm going to stick it in my ear. Charles, you explain what's happening here.
So he's jamming it in. First of all, it's very fuzzy at the entrance of Steve's face.
So put the camera up so Bill can see the inside of my ear.
Great, because that's what BB wants
BB
to
wants
see.
to see this. So can you see that, Bill? Can you see how you can see the hair and the earwax?
No, I can't see it in any real.
Oh, get it a little closer, Charles. He needs to see this. So you could actually see up in your ear.
That's rad.
That's so
And then you can pull, and there's chunks of earwax
Oh,
right there.
God.
Oh, man. So
and
gross.
for the record, Steve did this to my ears, and they were pristine.
Yeah,
'Cause
Charles
I
must
Q-tipped
jam.
the shit on my ears.
He
God.
must jam 10 Q-tips a day.
Yeah, way too much.
He's probably got a giant ball of wax right above his eardrum.
I don't give a shit. It feels good.
The one thing that the doctors tell you to
I
do.
don't give a shit. I've been doing it for years.
So if you're curious and ever want to see inside your ear and want to see what kind of earwax buildup you got, this was I think it was $25 on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. Anything else is funny to just sit there
You
with the
said
family.
that Holly Kelly's ears were extra fuzzy.
Yeah, and she had earwax too. So we don't Q-tip as much as Charles does apparently. Neither does your daughter. Your daughter had a little earwax. So if you have earwax problems or you need to have ear problems,
You
need to
scoop
see
it out.
It's essentially what the doctors use, I would say. It's on.
Sanitizing that in between uses.
Oh
No
yeah,
way, man.
you just lick the tip.
Yeah.
Just lick it off. You're good. This is B-Bird. I've only used it once or twice, so I'll probably clean it when I get home.
I have no need for that.
Charles apparently doesn't. But if you have earwax problems, you know who probably need this? Dave Markey. Dave Markey probably need this.
There you go. Merry Christmas, Dad.
It's a lot of fun, if anything else. So there you go. The hard-earned reviews of the security camera and the ear camera. Next week, we're going to have a look at the Oculus Quest 2 that I got, and we're going to tell you how it is and how the games are and all that good stuff. So that's for next week. But right now, you can see your earwax. And Bill feels fulfilled now that he's seen the inside of my ear, and he feels like he could be a doctor. Bill,
Yes, I feel much more enriched.
Bill, are you an earwaxy guy, or your ears relatively clean?
It'll develop pretty quickly, so I'm kind of more in the Charles camp. I pretty much
Inappropriate.
What do you say?
I Q-tip daily, basically.
Oh, you should. I Q-tip. I take a shower in the morning. I Q-tip right after the shower, but then throughout the day it just builds up again.
Then you Q-tip throughout the day.
I'm always nervous because the doctor says you're not supposed to
shit.
Right. And then we got a deaf father and a deaf grandfather. So I'm like, there's
Deaf
no
as
way.
shit. Because I don't care. Q-tip the beard.
In a pinch, too, if you're working about midday stuff and you don't have any with you, you can take and fold up the end of a paper clip in it. It's effective.
Ooh, man, that's advanced. I've never done a paperclip. I always use the Q-tip.
All right, so there we go. There's our earned reviews of the week. Now, we got some new shows coming this week, and I want to hear what you guys want to see, what you don't want to see, all the things. I think Bill's going to want to see at least 85% on here.
Yeah, that's usually checks out.
No, he don't want to see none of it. But anyways, first up, of course, the one I know Charles and I are going to say a big yes to. Mandalorian Season 2 comes this Friday. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to say no. Charles?
Why are we going around the room for me on this one? Of course, I'm a yes. Is it one episode a week? And how many episodes?
I believe it's 8 episodes, 1 episode a week.
8 episodes in this season?
Yeah, 8 or 10. So I think it's 8. But
I'm excited to see it.
Actually, nobody really knows the exact count of the episodes.
Oh,
but,
really?
Yeah, but it's 8 to 10, somewhere in there. Bill, your thoughts on The Mandalorian? Are you going to check it out and see what everyone's talking about?
Well, I have a question for you guys, actually, because
the answer is no.
As much as you guys have talked about this, I enjoyed the Star Wars movies that I've seen.
Okay.
Which were like in chronological order of actual release, the first 4, right? So I didn't see anything beyond, I don't know, the one that came when they first reopened the series 15 some years ago. The Jar Jar Binks one, which wasn't that great, but it was okay. I wonder, what's the storyline? Is it just it might be interesting. I probably won't get around to watching it, but
you familiar?
I'm not sure that I'm against it either.
You familiar with the story Lone Wolf and Cub?
No.
It's an older story about a samurai who travels the world, or travels Japan pretty much, ends up finding this young child in a village, and then travels the rest of Japan trying to find a home for the child. So it's kind of based on that. It's an old Japanese story. So
yeah, but that's loose.
I said kinda. I didn't
oh
say
my God, it's super loose.
But you see that's the general plot lines.
Okay.
And then this was the same thing. So the Mandalorian is, of course, you're familiar with Boba Fett because Breck went searching the world for a Boba Fett figure back in the 90s.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And he's one of them people that are left. It's called the Mandalorian. That's what Boba Fett is.
It's the guild.
And they're essentially bounty hunters. It's a lot. It has a very big Old West vibe to it.
But there's also a lot of intrigue on the basis of what's the story with the child? What does it mean?
Yeah.
What implications does it have to the whole universe? We can nerd out for days on this.
I don't want to go deep dive.
But I'm just saying, I don't think that if someone like BV could get into, if you don't have a love or an affinity for the Star Wars universe, you're not going to dig this. Is what I'm trying to say. Dude, you're reaching. Because I lit up like a Christmas tree when it was frickin' baby frickin' Yoda. BB
Yeah.
is not gonna have that,
Well, every female did.
dude.
People
What the hell are you trying to say, man?
got no heart, Bill.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. There's no
I don't know.
way.
I think he might.
I think you're reaching
through
and you
osmosis and being around us long enough. I think he would might enjoy it. It's got a lot of
All right,
action.
I challenge BV to watch The Mandalorian then and give us a full...
I don't think he's going to go deep dive.
No, watch
but
The
I think-
Mandalorian.
I
Are
think-
you talking about going back to the original or trying to pick it up in season 2?
Watch the
watch the
original,
first season.
yeah, and let us know what you think. Give it a handful of episodes and see if it grabs you. Because I
right.
guarantee you have to have
I think he gives
the
it a 7.
affinity to the universe.
He watches the whole show. He's not going to be like us, like, oh my God, it was awesome. But he's going to watch it. There's going to be some action. There's going to be an Old West vibe to it. And he'll say, it's about a 7. That's my prediction.
No, okay. I think you're being extra positive because you want other people in your guild.
He sat through the Star Wars movies and didn't hate them.
Yeah, okay. He halfway fell asleep.
Well, he halfway falls asleep and everything. That doesn't count. Oh, man. So next up, and I have to see this just out of curiosity, I Am Vengeance Retaliation. This is an action movie with Wade Barrett. You know who Wade Barrett is?
No, I don't know who
Wade
that
Barrett
is.
is an old wrestler from WWE. He's British. His real name's not Wade Barrett. It's something else. But he stars in this bad action movie called I Am Vengeance Retaliation, which is coming out on Netflix. I think it's already out. I got to see it out of curiosity, so I'm a yes. Charles?
I gotta be a what? I don't know what that was. What without the WWE trappings, you would not touch you at all. You
No,
wouldn't even
I would go
discuss
nowhere
it.
near it.
I'm a what and a no.
I saw him. I was like, how bad can this be? Bill, any interest?
You know, after looking it up a little bit, and by the way, I guess his name's Stu Bennett.
Yeah, that's his real name. Yep.
Yeah, whatever. It sounds like it. So this is either going to be one of those, kind of cool action movies that just gets under the radar because doesn't have the big names in it. It also could be absolute total hot garbage. And it's really hard to tell. I probably won't end up watching it, but another thing that seems like it would be, there's a chance it'd be pretty good.
All right. Next up, also on Netflix, Move. This is a documentary on choreography of dancing. This is a episode, so 7-8 episodes. No, I hate everything dancing. Charles?
I echo what you just said. I hate big dance groups. I'm just not into dance. I can respect singing. Dancing is not for me. I'm a no.
And Bill?
And we're unanimous. No.
All right. Next up is True Seekers Season 1. This is Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. This is paranormal. It's kind of comedy-based, Ghostbustery kind of type. Charles is not into this. I would give it one episode, and if it's funny, I'll watch it.
Dude, how many of these Simon Pegg shows and movies and, Shaun of the Dead and all that? Dude, what are we talking about? Like, when are we going to realize this guy's not funny? These movies suck. If he's not in this...
I liked Paul.
Paul is okay at best. Dude,
Well, I
I'm
didn't
telling
say
you
it's the
right
greatest
now.
movie ever.
I don't like
I
that
go to the
Simon
theater, I
Pegg
rented
guy
it.
at all. I'm a no. No,
right.
no.
And Bill?
Yeah, you had lost me at paranormal.
Okay. Next up, Ultimate Viking Sword. This is on Nat Geo on Disney Plus. They're going to build. It's one of those deals where they're building swords, kind of like I can't think of the name of the other Iron Masters or whatever. On the Nat Geo, they're supposed to. It looks interesting. I like those when they build weapons. I don't know if it needs to be an hour or so. A half hour would be great.
Is it Forged in Fire? I like
Yeah,
Forged in
it's
Fire.
like that. They're building weapons for Viking weapons. It's awful coincidental timing that the Viking video game's coming out in a month.
Oh, you think it's a Ubisoft tie-in is what you're trying to say?
Well, I just think it's awful coincidental timing. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, cross promotion all the time. So I might watch that. Yeah, Charles.
Steve's reaching for his tie-in. There's no way they're tying it with the Ubisoft release of Assassin's Creed. It's just Vikings are really popular. I mean, that show's huge on History Channel and still remains huge in streaming syndication or whatever like that. But it doesn't sound big to me. I want more Jeff Goldblum, goddammit, on my Nat Geo.
And Bill?
You have no interest in watching people build a sword. No.
He's so offended.
Next is The Witches. The Witches is based on a book that wrote the guy who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory wrote this also. Yep. It looks like a kid's Goosebumps kind of thing. Michelle's already into it, so she wants to see it. So I think me and her will be watching. So I'm a yes.
Why do you have to watch all things wizards and witches at your house? It's so bad. It sucks so bad. Anne Hathaway's hot, but this is a no. He also got bad reviews and stuff like that. So I'll be curious to hear what you think about it.
Probably watch it this week. Bill?
I'm a complete what?
Oh, all right. All right. Next is Chelsea Handler, Evolution. This is a stand-up, actually, with her. I'm a no. I'm not a big fan of hers.
I hate Chelsea Handler. I hate Amy Schumer. I'm not into it. Yes, I get it. All men are pigs and all this kind of shit. I don't care. No.
And Bill?
Yeah, Chelsea Handler is not and never has been funny.
It's because you're a man.
That's fine. No, I mean, I could be a freaking...
you and your dirty penis wouldn't understand her comedy.
I could be a female opossum and she still wouldn't be funny.
I know she fails upwards because she's had so many shows.
Yeah, people love her.
And she gets canceled constantly. I don't know.
Her and Amy Schumer have a great time.
I don't get it at all.
She couldn't even keep a show on E, so I don't know. Next up, returning favorite, Charles and I, Superstore Season 6. I'm a yes, but I don't have high expectations because it seems like they're already bailing some of them. American Ferrari's already off the show. She's leaving.
I gotta tell you though, this looks. Did you see the preview for
when
it?
she sprays him with the hose, that it looks funny.
Dude, it looks like a riot with the coronavirus stuff.
Yeah.
This is a gem of a show. If you're into The Office, Steve turned me on to it. I came to it about season 3-ish, started watching it live. Great show. It's fantastic. It's a yes all day for this.
And Bill?
I think I missed the boat on this because I've never seen it.
You can go back and watch it again. It's that good. You can go back and watch it in reruns just like The Office.
I actually have given some thought to going back and making one of the shows that I go back to. I'm not sure exactly where it's streaming at the moment, but I'm not going to get Peacock to get it. But if I can get it somewhere else, I might watch it. But
Probably
the only thing is,
Hulu.
I think it's on Hulu, yeah.
The only thing I hesitate with is that I think I'm probably the only person of my generation that didn't get into The Office.
Well, it doesn't do the mockumentary stuff. It's just more of a straight-up comedy. They don't stop and talk to the camera.
Oh, yeah, there's no interviewing.
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
none of that
documentary
stuff.
crew with it.
It's just zany
It's literally
characters.
just retail comedy. Is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
what it is. But it's very akin to The Office, I'd argue.
So that one's it. And then finally, on ABC, American Housewives
Steve
Season 5.
loves this
I
shit.
don't watch
You're
the
so
show.
full of shit.
I'm a
It's
no.
the only... You
I don't
love
watch.
her.
I swear I don't watch the
You
show.
would watch it with your pants around your ankles. You love this chick from Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
She's packed on a lot of weight. I don't know what's going on this show. I like Dietrich Bader or Oswald.
I hate
or
the kids on the show.
Yeah, but Dietrich Bader's in a lot of great cult movies and stuff like that. I don't watch the show. I don't have the affinity towards this chunky brunette chick that Steve does. Steve wants to masturbatories to her. I'm a no. I don't
swear
watch
I
this
don't
show.
watch
You
the show.
totally are into her.
Bill?
BB?
Well, yeah. So
Not you know who we masturbate to.
my wife was into her character from Mike and Molly for some reason, and so I did get stuck watching a good season and a half of it, and it was bad enough that even she stopped it. So no, we have bailed on that a long time ago.
Do you masturbate to her, BB, like Steve does?
No, and certainly not now. I mean,
Yeah, she's chunky now.
What she's done for this show, or just generally, is not her. Yeah, not particularly helping the spank vision, meter.
Steve's into more cushion for the pushing. Let me tell you.
More bounce to the house.
I mean, she's a good-looking woman, but I don't watch the show.
Yeah,
The way she talks annoys the crap out of me because no matter what
Yeah.
she's in, she sounds like a semi-southern high chick all the time, and it's
Steve
annoying.
will sop her up with a biscuit, boy. Don't let him fool you. He loves her.
All right, Charles, what's happening? Punch you in the face later.
Apparently not as hot as someone else.
I
No.
don't even know her real name.
But you love her, dude.
He's bounding down when she was great on that.
All right, so we had just today. Steve texted me earlier today. It sounded like Steve, you were bored of college football. You're like, let me look and see.
Yeah, well, they kept on ESPN. They kept having a shitload of commercials. 2 p.m. today. It's like 2 o'clock for a UFC event.
Word.
And then they're like on ESPN Plus. They didn't say the $65.
Yeah.
So I was like, Well, I mean, these games suck. Let me turn that on.
Yeah, you were totally.
So
annoyed.
ESPNplus.com, they want $65 for this
It
thing.
was a proper UFC pay-per-view today.
Why was it on at 2 in the afternoon?
Because it was in Fight Island. It was
okay.
the United Arab Emirates. So big events happened. So Robert Whitaker got a decision over Jared Cannonier, and no one cared. That was another. But the big one was Khabib Nurmagomedov, as Steve could spell his name 4 times over.
Yeah.
He submitted in round number 2 Justin Gaethje. At this point, Khabib is 29-0.
Did he dominate Justin Gaethje pretty much?
Yeah, I don't know, but
You
I
didn't
would
watch it?
assume
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't pay the $65. You were 100% right. I was not giving you $65.
I'm interested in the
Yeah.
fight, but I don't want to pay $65
Yeah,
for it.
like you said, check it out on ESPN.
And then there was
all
only
day.
2 rounds.
Yeah. So he promptly announced his retirement. It's been long said that he basically wants George St. Pierre. And George St. Pierre's been out of the fight game since 2017, I want to say. And if he's not coming back, it sounds like he's walking away. He's the most dominant ever.
Why does he want George?
Because George St. Pierre is considered the best 155 ever. And he basically wants to beat him so that he can say, I've beaten everyone. He's got that crazy Russian mentality with, like, put him in front of me, I'll kill him. You know what I mean? Like, that whole thing. He is by far the most dominant. You can't argue with the guy. It's crazy. He wins again.
He fought McGregor, right?
Yeah. But they fought at 170, I want to say. So they fought a little heavier.
And who won? He won easily.
Khabib's never lost.
I mean, did he dominate him, or was
He
it
always
close?
does. Like he is the epitome of like that crazy Eastern European or Russian wrestler that they have no answers for. You can talk all the shit you want about stand up and Conor McGregor's hands and all. He gets his hands on you, it is over. He is the most dominant wrestler to ever be in MMA. I mean, it is insane. And he did it again, 29-0. You can't argue with the guy. He's the best ever. I mean, he's not flashy, which a lot of people don't like. There's no big KOs or nothing. He just wins. There's no other way around it. Khabib is the best one at arguably the best pound for pound fighter ever in the UFC. It's hard to say against him. So then the other, what's that, BB?
Is he like the Alexander Karelin of?
Yeah, you're talking about the Greco-Roman wrestler guy. In fact, I knew that. Do you know who that guy was?
Is that the Russian?
Yeah, he ends up losing.
Lost to the farmer from Wisconsin.
Roland Gardner.
Roland Gardner.
He had been undefeated for like 13 years.
Yeah. So yeah, he is that. He is basically the equivalent. It's unheard of, man. It's crazy. And now next weekend, pretty good fight to card. Now this one will be on ESPN Plus. They go back to the Apex. Uriah Hall fights Anderson Silva. This should be a pretty good fight. I'll check this one out. I wasn't giving you $65 for no Khabib.
I'm so pissed over that.
Yeah, you texted me hot. I was like, oh man,
$65.
Yeah, plus you got to be an ESPN Plus subscriber. That's always the big thing I tell a lot of people too, man.
Dana White can blow me.
Yeah, that's the
He must have a
game.
deal with TMZ.
I don't know.
Because the other day I was on TMZ because I was still curious if they had their comments turned off, which they do, which is a bummer. So that was some of the best.
I'm also annoyed that Yahoo's stuff. You got like. You can't check on Yahoo comments really anymore. What is with this? I love the comments.
Yeah,
on stuff.
I know.
If I opt in, if I should be able to check a box and say I want the comment.
Yeah, it's some of the best racism you're ever going to see.
Yeah, like I love to see certain articles and go, wait till you read these comments. And scroll down.
I read a big article on Trump, like, this is going to be good.
Yeah, this is going to get crazy.
And get that little Michael Jackson meme eating the popcorn waiting.
Oh my God.
Nope. So yeah, but on TMZ it was like every other article was a UFC, and nothing controversial, just like Khabib and this and this. I was like, what the hell? They must have cut a deal, some kind of deal with him.
Yeah, some kind of exclusive rights or something like that.
All right, there's UFC, and they want to rape you for $65 for one fight.
It's the fight game.
I mean,
man.
it wasn't even a good card. I mean,
Well, that's the big thing that's coming out now in the UFC. So they compared, what was it, last weekend when I talked about Brian Ortega fought and all that kind of stuff. He got, for his win, maybe $225,000. At the same time, last weekend, BB, who was the big boxing match that happened last weekend? Do you know? It was a couple little guys.
Yeah, that was, what the hell is that guy's name?
Nonetheless.
Vasily Lomachenko,
Yeah.
who was considered like the best pound for pound fighter against Teofimo Lopez, who was an up-and-comer, been knocking everybody out. And Lopez actually won a decision against Lomachenko and won.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like the first undisputed 4-belt champion at lightweight ever.
That was on at the Buffalo Wild Wings last week.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was.
Why are
just
you in
on
my house
straight
today,
up-
by the way?
I forgot I went there.
I forgot to swab him when he got in. I forgot about that.
It was on free TV too. It was straight up ESPN.
To the point though, they're saying both of those fighters got millions of dollars. So like they're saying that like the UFC fight thing is completely skewed. Like the fighters are getting screwed hard. They're just not
It's
making.
$65 a pay-per-view. They should be paying them a lot more than
Yeah,
$200
they're
grand.
saying that like they're not sharing the wealth at all.
But
and
there's a
they're
lot
really
more
going
though. Like you're gonna get a UFC pay-per-view almost every weekend, where that boxing is only once every.
But if you can hold down an ESPN fight at the same time a UFC has an ESPN fight, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
something's not right there. I'm just gonna say,
Dana White's fucking him.
just like he wanted to fuck you.
Lomachenko was guaranteed a $3.25 million purse, and Lopez a $1.25 million.
Yeah. So and like I said,
And
Brian
Lopez is
Ortega,
like 23 years old. Like
he got like $200K. So here's a guy with a guaranteed $3 million. Like, what's wrong with this picture? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't add up. And I think something's got to be done there. That
We always made the jokes.
Well, I don't. Is that really that comparable though? I mean, Lomachenko was considered by and large to be the top pound for pound guy in all of boxing, and ESPN's. He's been under contract with ESPN since they got back into boxing, and they've been hyping him up for years. So it's all. I mean, this would be sort of like should have been like the equivalent of a major pay-per-view, as far as the star level in boxing these days.
I'm just saying, like, if you're holding on to ESPN broadcasts, is all I'm trying to say. It sounds like the fighters are getting screwed. That's all I'm trying to say. It just doesn't seem to add up to me.
Yeah. But the top guys get good money. McGregor gets a lot of good money.
On the pay-per-views and stuff like that.
How much Khabib probably got?
I don't know.
You know,
But to your point, it's $65 to watch it.
Yeah, fuck them. That's ridiculous.
Find it.
There was a scroll through my Facebook. The Impact Wrestling came on. They're having a pay-per-view. I think they're only charging $10 for the pay-per-view.
Is Impact still around?
Apparently, yeah. I think that's where Garen.
What channel is it on?
Rhino wrestles. I think it's on the Paramount Network or something like that. I'm not sure. It could be. I don't know. But it's like at midnight on a Saturday or something. It's weird. All right, let's go to the news. Let's finish her up here. I always like to report on things that happened during COVID and programs or products that kind of go through the roof because of the COVID. Because everyone, all you ever hear about is business going on. Oh, we're all going to be out of business and anything. Well, Logitech, this makes kind of sense. Their sales went through the roof once everyone got put on lockdown.
Gear, I would assume.
Yeah,
right?
so
Is
yeah,
that
they made a crap ton of money during the COVID thing. So I forget how much they're worth. But almost
couldn't
their
have come
stock
as a
almost
shock
doubled.
to you guys,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
no,
it was
no.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So they
I
went
mean,
up.
they're deep in. Logitech does. So Logitech owns all the Astra stuff that you're a big fan of and everything. All of the video stuff. A
lot of keyboards, a lot of mice. They have good products too. I'm not gonna.
You're not saying it's a fluke that they're up there. You know?
Yeah. So and with Zoom meetings and everything else, Logitech is gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one. So plexiglass and Logitech, we all should have invested
Plexiglass is
in
the
back
biggest.
last March. We all should have bought a shitload of both of those, and we
Dow
screwed up.
Corning.
And hand sanitizer.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man.
All right, now this comes the news I like to put on here to make Charles happy. Willow sequel series
Super
coming
stoked,
to the
super
Plus.
stoked.
And also, ironically, it's starring Warwick Davis.
Yeah,
I thought for
can't
sure.
wait, dude.
I thought for sure they should cat him, and then we'll go with the younger little girl.
Will they get his wife? Will they get Kaya and everything?
I don't
like
know.
That, dude?
They
Oh my
all
God!
gotta be
Will
old.
Migosh be in this? Dude? I got
You know
so
all their
many
names.
questions. Dude.
But will Val Kilmer
Will
be in it?
Falcor be in it? Or no? What? Yeah, dude. Verbal cut.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice world, a universe they built there. So
I love Willow.
if they do a good job with it, I mean, I can see it being kind of a hit
saying will
for 'em.
Mad Mardigan be?
Yeah, no, there'll be a
I
different
bet you
actor.
Eric will be in it. The one big Viking-looking guy. Didn't
he die?
I don't remember.
I think he died.
Oh,
The General Kale put his
General
sword.
Kale?
Yeah, put his sword in another sword.
Bav more of us to die.
Yeah,
who's the girl? The young girl with the weird fishbone sword.
Oh, she was the princess. She ended up marrying Mad Mardigan at the end.
Oh man, such a good series. I'm stoked.
Yes.
Disney, take my money.
So and then now let's go into other news that Charles enjoys: electric cars.
Holy shit, that Hummer costs.
GM has introduced an electric Hummer.
Holy shit, my house only costs $121,000. I'm gonna live in here till I die.
So Bill's seen his next car. It's going to be an electric Hummer for $114,000.
No.
Him and Abby are going to have matching Hummers.
$114,000.
Yes, that's what it said on the article.
Wow.
How many do you want? You want two?
Dude, I told you I'm living in a Hummer right now.
Yeah.
We watched that show, that Long Way Up show I talked about on the show, and it's at Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
And they're driving those Rivians on there. Those are great trucks. They do this tow charging thing with them where they get towed and it will recharge the batteries and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for this Hummer. $114,000 sounds insane.
I wonder if it'll be as big as a traditional Hummer.
It looks huge, according to what I saw. I didn't even know where you got the price from. I never saw a price. That's
it was.
fucking
I thought
crazy.
it was on Engadget. One of those two. Well, the article.
That is unbelievable.
The Detroit News had it. Yeah, it's on the Detroit News.
$114,000 with a straight face.
Well, I mean, how much is a traditional Hummer? Like 80 or 90,000, right?
I don't know. I've never looked at a Hummer.
Wow.
I can't even wrap my brain around that at $114,000.
You remember there was a period in the early 2000s where the Hummer was going to be the next big. Like I saw a couple of them in Taylor and stuff where people bought Hummers, and then the gas prices went up and everyone could buy Hummers.
Dude, are you kidding me?
I mean, I think it was early 2000s, right when those hit, and everyone was like,
weird to
"Ooh,
me is this
Schwarzenegger had one."
Okay, yeah, he ain't worried about buying nothing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I thought that Tesla was like trying to drive the price down of e-vehicles. Doesn't this go like in the face of all things?
In your face.
The problem is that they're going to sell so few that it's going to get discontinued immediately.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm seeing. I was looking. Car and Driver is showing that the Hummer will start at $79,995.
So
I don't
probably
know.
114 fully equipped. You're probably right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The article right there unveils it's actually $112,595. That's the Detroit News.
That is unbelievable.
But, okay, so there's all right. So there's another thing here. It talks about Hummer EV starts at $112K. Cheaper models to come.
Wow. So the first one you can get is
Oh,
going to be
okay. So the first model year, I see it now. The first model year, they're only coming out with $112,000 one.
Yeah.
But then the second model year, bring additional configurations that are cheaper, and they'll start at 80.
It's still 80.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you can't. I mean, these days, I don't know what this actually competes with at this point, but you can't get a new Escalade or like Lincoln Navigator or similar size, SUV from like a Mercedes or something like that for less than 75, 80 grand as a starting point. So it's kind of in line with what they charge for this stuff.
It's just I can't even wrap my brain around that. It hurts my face to even say it. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Some Banshee says that batteries in those things.
It's 114. It better have all the batteries.
How does an electric car give up to 1,000 horsepower?
Oh.
It says it's going to use 3 electric motors.
I don't care. I live in a Hummer, is what I'm trying to say. This is unbelievable.
I mean,
yeah. So there you go, Charles. There's your chance to get you a new electric. Side note, I stopped and got a big gulp. Chevy.
How much would the payment be? Look up. I want to finance a new Hummer
For 6 years.
for 6 years. What is the
Alright,
payment?
let's
Do a loan calculator.
Without interest, it's probably going to be
how
up.
much you want to put down on it?
I'll put 2 G's down.
All right. So, auto loan calculator.
72 months, 112 grand.
Let's get. So they're saying current interest rates around 3.1.
Okay, well, like Steve said, let's even give it 0%.
112.5. So I'm going to make the loan amount 110.5. That would make your loan your monthly car payment $1,680.
That's 2 of my house
For
payments.
5 years.
Yeah, that's literally slightly more than double what I pay for my Continental.
That's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Dude.
But a side note, I stopped at 7-Eleven, and one of those brand new Chevy Trailblazers pulled up next to me, the Blazer. That thing is small.
Yeah, I don't.
They don't look much bigger than the
It's
Equinox.
a misstep. It's a misstep.
I was
Yeah,
like,
they
The
didn't try
Trailblazers.
to, they didn't try to like recapture any. They just put the same name tag on a newer.
Newer SUV design.
that was a total letdown. I was
It's a
like, look at
bummer.
this.
The Bronco, though, not John Bronco, the HULU show, but the new Bronco is a sharp vehicle. I like that new Ford Bronco. There's a handful of them. We live in
I
Dearborn.
liked it when they called it the Jeep.
Yeah.
Are you seeing them driving around? Already,
Yeah,
or
there's a handful of them over by the headquarters and stuff.
they're
I
like
see
the
'em.
manufacturing ones. Yeah,
They're
no,
really nice. Nice vehicle.
We still have the deposit down on the one.
I'd
so-
say pop for it, man. They look sharp, dude. They look
yeah, I
real
don't
nice.
know. Another 40G on an automobile right now doesn't make a lot of sense. But
Dude, but you can spend 112 G's on a new
yeah,
thing.
no, I can't. But
That's crazy.
Anyway.
So this next news article is, if you remember a few weeks back, if you listened to the podcast, we had an argument about populating the solar system. So I put this one on here just to give me hope. This is real life
I saw this. It was
NASA.
super cool.
There's an older asteroid out there.
NASA's in the Bahamas, Steve. It's NASA.
NASA, sorry,
Yeah.
NASA. They sent a rover / satellite that landed on an asteroid while it's moving through space,
Cored it,
and
yeah.
cored and grabbed some material, and then launched off it, like the movie Armageddon. So that gives me hope. We might be able to do it.
Buscemi riding that rocket.
From what I understand, it's a 9-year mission. This happened in 2011. It started, according to the article. So they've been working on it for 9 years.
Cool.
But so there you go. A little hope that we may get off this planet one day.
but not so fast, because I saw it on the news. I saw the video of what they pulled. It's going to take 3 more years before they can even get it back to be able to test
But Bill,
it.
they did it. Why you always see there you are with your negativity all the goddamn time?
Still be 147 years old.
And all it's gonna be is dirt. What did we find? It was dirt. I don't know.
It's made out of dirt.
Yeah, it's space dirt. All right, so there we go. Now, Charles, did you hear about the new streaming service Quibi back in?
I tell you this,
in spring?
Kevin Hart was pimping this all over the place. This is supposed to be bite-sized comedic
Yes,
adventures.
yes.
It sounded awful from jump.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest.
Chrissy Teigen had a court show.
God, Chrissy.
Liam Neeson and not Liam Neeson, Liam Hemsworth, and who's the German guy that plays a villain in every movie now? Christoph Waltz had a show on there. They were doing something. They put
Bite-sized chunks, right? That was the whole thing.
So you
for
watch
the
the show for
80
10 minutes,
generation, yeah.
and then you wait till a couple days later, and another episode comes out.
Did anyone watch a Quibi? Like,
You had to pay for it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it wasn't free. You had to pay $5 to $10 a month. $5 for with ads, $10 without ads.
Wow.
Didn't some of them show up on YouTube though?
Maybe I imagine a lot of these shows.
There was a line of things that showed up on YouTube where I don't know if this was Quibi or not, but where Kevin Hart was doing these like workout kind of interviews where they end up getting into like a cold tub.
No, that's not Quibi. He did that before Quibi was out. I
okay.
saw those.
He interviews him in a cold tub.
Yeah, that's been around a while. But so not Andy Katzenmeyer, but Jerry Bruckheimer, the big producer of, he was one of the ones behind it.
You're just
Ohio
obsessed.
State,
You're just
the
obsessed.
Patriot linebacker Andy Katzenmoyer.
No,
Yeah.
he's thinking of. He's still on Armageddon.
Yeah, well, he and the billions of dollars they put into this service, and now they've shit canned it.
Well, it sounded like a bad idea.
Yeah, it really did.
Sometimes I get annoyed. We talked about this again midweek. Like, I love TV shows because they can expound upon universes and all this kind of stuff. You like a movie because you like 2 hours and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, this is the exact opposite. Like, 10 minutes? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's a total waste of time.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of people and a lot of high production values on some of these shows. From
But
the
do you know
commercials I've
anyone,
seen.
like, so you have a
I
young
know
daughter?
nobody.
I don't know
Nobody.
anyone that was like, you know
'Cause
what, I
if
got
it was
Quibi.
free, it'd probably still be around. Cause,
Why wasn't it just ad supported, I wonder?
Well, because they put so much money into it. Because they bought all those big time actors and stuff to
Had to
do
get that
shows.
revenue out of it.
They had to
yeah.
get some money immediately, and the free ads wasn't enough. So it doesn't matter. It's gone. There's no set date of when it's going to stop working, but imagine by the end of the year, if you
It's
have
gonna fizzle
if
with
you
a
have your
dud.
$5 or $10, then you may want to cancel that right now. So we go into bad ideas to something that seems like a no-brainer, really. Tim Burton is looking to make an Addams Family TV show, and I started thinking about this. How has Tim Burton not done the Addams Family movie? He seems like the perfect fit for those.
I gotta tell you, my daughter loves the Addams Family universe. She loves
She
all
does?
those, the CG movies.
Oh,
She
yeah.
just watched the other day the Raul Julia one with Angel.
Oh, yeah?
She loves
Well,
Addams Family.
your daughter is a little off. So.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, she's a little out there. Nah, just kidding.
No, but she does. She loves the Addams Family. So,
But Tim Burton seems like a perfect fit for the Addams Family universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What part is Johnny Depp playing? Lurch?
Yeah, Gomez. He's playing all the male characters in the show,
Yeah.
and a couple of the female ones. And Christina Ricci's going to be in there somehow.
Yeah.
And Helen Bonham Carter.
Surprisingly enough, I watched a little bit of the Addams. It holds up. I just watched it just the other day. It was like a freeform on demand thing because she was
The movie or
the movie, the role with Christopher Lloyd and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff. It's still really good. I was like, and I also knew way more than I ever assumed about that. Christina Ricci's really young in it and stuff. It's crazy.
So if they do this and it becomes a hit on one of the streaming services, I'm assuming, do they go with the Munsters next?
I don't know. I don't know if the Monsters rings true as much because the Addams Family just had that CG movie. What was it, 2 years ago or something like that?
It seems like they do every 5-6 years.
The Addams Family is definitely still in pop culture, I think.
So we had Buck Rogers news last week, Addams Family this week. That's why I liked Primal, because at least it was different and not remade. But so there we go. And what streaming service, if you had to guess, what streaming service? What, Netflix going to be after this Addams Family?
I think HBO Max. Wouldn't HBO Max own?
Maybe.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. But who know how those rights are. All right. So that's all the news we have this week. Any final thoughts from you folks around?
No. Other than, we might. I was going to talk to you guys a little bit after the show. We might record next Sunday because I'm working some day shifts, so we can go back to the original day.
Oh, okay.
So then that way you don't going to be out and about on Halloween and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was going to talk to you about that. So on the way here again, I'm coming down Monroe, and a guy in a purple suit, a purple Halloween outfit, walked across the street, going to a house that's having a big Halloween party. Oh, it looks like adults. Should people be doing that with COVID?
No.
And
I don't know how BV feels, but
so another outbreaks are coming from Halloween parties.
Just this past week, I told our dad I won't be going to the Thanksgiving. We also told my in-laws I won't be going to Thanksgiving this year. So
how'd that go?
Dad was fine with it. Dad don't care. Okay, enjoy your turkey.
I didn't mean him.
Yeah, no. Surprisingly enough, they're a little leery of this current spike.
My mother-in-law's sick.
Oh,
Shortness of breath. I've been ill for 2 days now. Michelle might have to run her to the hospital.
Oh, mama, that ain't good.
Yeah, it's not good. Just called today about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so...
I'm just saying, man, it sounds crazy. It sounds Charles paranoia, and I'm sure BV's kind of more in my camp than he is in, Steve's Republican camp. But,
I gave you Big Ten football.
It's the best. It's great.
It's huge. It's got to be huge.
Did it phenomenally.
Yes. I'm now immune to the Chinese virus.
It's flaring up.
UMass squares are a disaster.
Bill's slipping into Bill Murray.
Yeah, he did. Gunga.
I don't do
Total-
a good Trump at all.
Total consciousness.
It's just the way he talks in adjectives makes me nuts.
Yeah.
But I just, just be careful out there, people. I mean, this second spike is real. It's shooting up. And just because Trump has all the doctors in the world working on him, it's still not good to get this shit right now, people. I mean, I'm just saying. And especially someone who's elderly and older, and then think about it in the way of, I don't want to give it to those people. I would be super paranoid of giving. I would feel super bad if I gave it to someone like a Michelle's mom or something. So whoever she got it from, shame on those people. And,
I'll tell you after.
Yeah,
okay.
I had a similar thing. My mom texted me yesterday asking about, whether we were planning to come out. And I said, look, I'd like to, but at this point, probably not.
Yeah.
Spikes all over the place. We actually just had our county and the county next to it pulled back to a phase again. Indoor dining's out again.
Oh wow! They do it county by county out by you, huh?
Yeah. So you can't sit down anywhere. Well, unless you go to a patio kind of thing, outdoor place.
In 30-degree weather. Yeah.
Well, apparently though they must have a lot of heating. Well, they also a lot of those places too will have a little connected covered
Did you see what they're
that
doing
has
here?
like the big garage door. As long as there's open air going into it, they can get away with it.
Yeah.
So
It's a slippery slope.
So
I'd argue.
here, some of the downtown restaurants, it was on the news. They built igloos, but out of glass. So you go to the restaurant, they got this giant glass dome and like a table in it. And you go and eat in there with your 4 or 5 family members.
I don't know, man.
And I guess somehow it's supposed to stay heated even in the winter.
Just everybody be careful, man.
I'm going to the
just
glass
saying.
igloo to go eat.
I mean, are you okay to go to Dad's house and all that stuff? Like, you're okay with it? And
Dad's house?
You're over there like with chicken wings and everything at Buffalo Wild Wings and all that. So what do I care? You're giving me COVID right now.
I was near nobody.
You've already basically just avoided catching it by a nut hair like 3 times. Legitimately. I mean, your wife, your boss, dude. How you haven't contracted at this point is a minor miracle.
I've been affected by it quite a few times, though.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It's like, God
Your
damn it.
mother-in-law's gonna show her. That ain't good, man.
Yeah, we got to find out about that.
Swab her nose. Yeah.
All right, folks. So you can make your Thanksgiving plans now.
Be careful out there. We're not doing anything. I didn't decorate the
Christopher
front
actually
of-
asked me
What?
about Thanksgiving. I was like, well, with COVID and stuff, I don't think we're going anywhere. He goes, yeah, that makes sense. So, you know.
Yeah. At some point when the world gets back to kind of whatever normal numbers and I can get a shot in the butt and all that kind of stuff and feel a little safer about stuff, gladly have a dinner somewhere. I don't care. I'm all for that. But like right now, it's a little too sketchy for me, man. I'm not into it. I only let you in, and that's under protest. You just let yourself in. I can't get you out of my house.
It's like, please leave.
And a nice super spreader over there.
I don't go anywhere. I just went to one Buffalo Wild Wings with Tyler, who was wearing a poncho.
What?
I'll show you the picture. He was fucking wearing a poncho.
Is that his new look or something?
Yeah.
He's into ponchos now.
Him and his brother, yeah. Well, he always kind of has been, I guess. They call him the Power Ponchos.
Is it like a luchador thing?
No, it's like a Clint Eastwood thing. Like an Old West poncho, I'm telling
Like
you.
the ones that look like they were crocheted by some old lady. And
It's,
like,
it looks like it's straight like he bought it in Arizona from a shop by Better Call
wearing
Saul.
topaz around his neck.
I'll show you.
Was there like this crazy whistle when they walked in there?
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. All right, folks. So you can catch us on Apple iTunes, Google Play, all everywhere at fatguyslittlepodcast.com, and of course on our Facebook page, which right now the internet keeps kicking out on this laptop today.
Oh, yeah?
So I keep having to reload the page. So I don't know if I'll be able to stop the live feed, but
I can stop the push from here.
all right, excellent. So until next week, this is Steve
And Charles.
Catch you next week.